want you to stop saying odd shit.
Party's over. How's that for a slice of fried gold?
I am your mother.
This is a way of life.
Is it dead?
On time, bitch.
I worship Satan.
Satan is good. Satan is our pal.
I can't believe that just fucking happened. Yeah, boy.
Very much so.
We're back! Hello all, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast Downstairs. We are just three weirdos locked in a basement who absolutely love horror movies and all things horror. We got a lot to say on that, but first we're going to go around the table and introduce ourselves. Words, punchline. Words, punchline. Oscars happened. Words. What's up with that? Boom, bang, pow. All right, we're back, baby, for another roundup. I'm your roundup movie rancher, raising them up, chopping them down. Yeehaw, baby. I'm Glenn.
Wow.
Nice.
A lot going on. Mostly Oscars.
I
Also
think
Cowboys.
It did happen.
I got overwhelmed with that. I was like, where are we going? Well, I think I'm just, sitting in my little solitude submarine of isolation on my own, listening to some ASMR, something about like 666. I don't know. Mary had a little lamb, but we're just glad that I'm here with you tonight. And I'm Claudio.
Oh my God, it's John Wick.
I didn't catch most of that one either, so this is also going to be an obscure word. I've come back. I will return. I'll possess your body and I'll make you burn. I have the fire. I have the force. I have the power to make my pod be heard. And I'm Joe.
Bars.
Just like Eddie.
Hell yeah.
Nailed it, absolutely.
Yeah. So you can change. So you can hear the change in tone of what we're presenting to you. This is not going to be an installation in our /6. We're actually going to be changing things up because quite a few movies have come out, and we've gone to the theaters, and we've been let out, and we've been allowed to watch certain things, and like a lot of stuff has happened. We got to catch up with it.
We wouldn't want anyone to think we don't appreciate being let out. So, let it be clear.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to be let out.
Well, as we have a couple times for these recent releases.
My wife.
You never have.
I miss my cheesy
Yeah, we've been delving into like the past for a long time, and I think it's time to talk about the present and talk about the most recent past.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not the real
present.
history. No,
but
not
like,
the real. Yeah.
No.
But cinema.
Why? Is something happening?
Just
No.
our daily.
Just Tuesday. Am I right?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Tuesday.
So,
How's that?
How's
that?
You read my mind.
That was a good.
I was gonna say the first movie.
Are you him?
Oh,
I think
I am who you say I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were the one who provides us this charity on this.
Oh no, it's not this
We are, of course, talking about the first movie that we got to see together, which was 28 years later, The Bone Temple.
which I think still might be my favorite of this year so far.
Hard agree.
Yeah.
Hard agree.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think so far out of the things that I've seen from this year, that one's pressing pretty high up there.
It definitely sits apart from everyone in a non-derogatory way, but like definitely I mean, the opposite of derogatory is complimentary, but like it stands on its own by just so many different levels and aspects that were thrown into it. That for some people will say that, well, that's not a real zombie movie, or like, oh, well, like, where's the action?
This kind of did what I feel like the later seasons of The Walking Dead wanted to accomplish and failed, whereas this succeeded. Where it's like we want to look at, and I feel like this is true for the whole franchise, it's like we want to look at the human experience within a zombie fallout. And I feel like whereas The Walking Dead kind of was like, yeah, it's just a bunch of people being passive-aggressive and angry at each other and just not talking.
Yeah.
This really shows what people can do inside of that world.
It's so much rich exposition and like you said, finding the humanity and so many things that like you can't help but laugh at.
Oh my God, yeah. Like, this was one of those movies.
It's genuine.
I love it when this fucking happens. When you go into a theater, you sit down, and you're getting the whole gamut of human emotion. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna cry. You're gonna be scared. You're gonna get like really tense. You're gonna have a great time. You're gonna feel miserable. It's all of these things, and that is fucking cinema.
Yeah, so far these movies are 2 for 2 for me with like what you just said, just in terms of like the whole gamut of the spectrum of human emotion. Like I think I walked out of both of these years later movies, like having cried, having laughed, having been like just through a harrowing experience, like all of it. And it all works, and I think it all like blends really smoothly.
And the way that it kind of just passes the baton to itself, like, you know, the ending of 28 Years Later, it leaves us with this, you know, so many questions, so many, like, you know...
Unsettled,
exactly.
Yeah.
Purposefully so, not
Yeah,
like
yeah,
left hanging on the
absolutely.
hook.
Not,
but clearly,
not like a
chapter
to be
one.
continued question
This was
mark.
a great cliffhanger.
Absolutely.
So many times it's like, we're going to throw that cliffhanger out there, and it's copy, paste, insert cliffhanger here.
But not, I don't think this is like a cop-out middle chapter in that it's like, oh, you know, nothing's resolved. But no. Like, there were arcs.
absolutely not.
They were, you know, treated to real development. Like, things have happened that could not have, like, not been addressed if we just jumped to the third installment, you know?
Absolutely.
Like, I can see a lot of people, you know, like, people who I think are very wrong-headed being like, oh, like, you didn't need that at all. You're just going to end up and you're just, well, there's just chicks with him now, and blah. And it's like, all right, if that's how you're feeling, then, like, why just don't even show up for things that you have to think about. Like,
Maybe it's not the movie for you. Maybe,
Yeah.
and, like, again, no shade, but, like, maybe just, like, mindless zombie violence.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Go watch the remake of Day of the Dead. That's for you, bro.
I was just about to shout out Zack Snyder on that one. No. Just that movie.
Go
Not
play
Dawn.
Left 4 Dead 2.
Day. Oh.
The crappy one. the Ving Rhames one that we don't talk about.
Yeah.
But you just did.
Regardless,
forgot
as
about
part of an insult. But no, just to be clear, so we're not confusing anyone before we get too much deeper into what is clearly our favorite, new movie of 2026 so far. We are going to actually discuss a handful of movies that we've all seen, a few that we've each only seen, and I think we'll also cover stuff that is like still on our watch list, things that we might have missed. But yeah, if you're into
Things that were ripped out of our cold, dead grasps.
not just revisiting stuff from decades past and their 2000s remakes, but just some recent stuff.
Feels good to
that's
be in the
what,
now.
That's what today's going to be
Yeah.
about.
And it's it's definitely like, it's cool having gone back and like been so critical of these classic movies and having to like look at it through such a very strict scope of like, oh, how did this work? How did that work? Where's the difference in this and that? To like watching something fresh and new, because I still can't break that critical eye.
Good.
So now it's like, well, it's like I feel myself being a little bit more critical than I was even previously.
Good.
It's called literacy. Digital.
It is a virus that like infects you, and like it's that bell can't be unrung, and I kind of love that.
No, absolutely. It does help a lot.
I do remember like a literacy bird flying by and like dripping something in my eye, and then it just kind of changed everything for me. That's a 28 reference.
One thing that my wife is so sweet to like kind of always kind of check in on me with is like if she's watching something or if we're watching something together, every once in a while she just kind of like will always kind of surprise me like, hey, act break. And like it's always, not always, but very often like right where about would be mathematically. If it's like 120-minute movie, it's right about at that 40-minute mark. You know what I mean? So I love that, since we've gotten together, she's been like watching more movies because I forced that on her, of course. But she's, been a great sport and like has.
I was wondering what
since...
that dog kennel was in your back room.
Shut. Never know.
That's for him,
I was
actually.
about to say that's only when I'm a good boy. No.
Just to keep... It's how to keep him away from his letterbox review for like 15 minutes after the movie. It's like, Joe, let it sit in first.
Let it simmer.
All you see is the camera just shaking.
Blanket. It's nighttime now.
But I love that she caught the cinema criticism virus from me and is like, I feel like we'll be on our deathbeds and she'll still be like nudging me like, hey, act 2, right on time, right on cue.
I
love
have I've done it.
That is sweet.
Yeah, that is so sweet. I've done it to Chell too, where it's like Chell like. There's been like a joke in The Simpsons, and I think they was mainly from that I remember it from was from American Dad. Is like there was like a point in which somebody runs into the screen and is like, "The all hope is gone moment," and then they run off screen again. I have been making that joke ever since when we're watching like anything that I don't really care about. But now like I've got Chell doing it now too, and I'm
that's
like,
like
but you're paying attention to the story though.
And that's like the darkest before the dawn, triumph, third act. Okay. So and again, that's hero's journey stuff, right? Which is the same thing. Which like if folks,
It's clocking those,
it's the pre-ordeal, it's like there are I get such a kick out of this stuff, so don't let me get
makes me
started.
so
But like
Yeah.
I love the patterns that emerge when you watch enough stuff, and like you can't help but recognize those formulas that sometimes are getting used too much too easily, and that becomes like cheap cliches, or you're seeing like solid craft, and that's just like what a good plot structure should do or look like, or carry you along through it. So it's nice to be able to recognize that stuff.
Yeah.
It makes it easier, I think, to cut through the nonsense. Like it also helps you see through like when you're getting duped. You know what I mean? Like it's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same. Magic trick of like look over here, not over there, and like. You know what I mean? Like once you are able to see through that stuff, like
That's a dangerous slope, though, because then you're really close to just being that guy that's sitting in the theater going, Kubrick did it before. Show me something we haven't seen before.
I don't sound like
Oh,
that.
yeah, you watched German Expressionism before.
I don't have a lisp anymore. But no, it is a slippery slope.
It
So you
is.
have to remember to
Yeah.
keep your joy and
Yeah,
whatever.
keep your
That's why
joy,
we're here.
keep
your
it
joy.
fun,
That's-
keep it light, you bitch.
God. But that's the joy of having the duality of these episodes where we talk about what we've seen
Yeah.
recently and the
We get
slash
to
chicks, because
share our joy with it.
Yeah.
And it feels lower stakes too, because I don't feel like I have to do any hard
it's not
comparisons.
compare contrast. It's hey, we watched this. This is how we feel.
You know how they have, if you don't know, the cinema score that's on like IMDb and like the website,
Yeah.
whatever. That's I think if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the one that is specifically generated from like the exit surveys of like random folks coming out of theaters. So it's instant reaction stuff of just like rando, moviegoers. It is
I would be
not like
so
critical
bad at
reception.
Mostly because like they would walk up, they would ask me the question, and I'd be like, wait, what did other people say first? what are they all saying, and what are they like? Who were they?
Like you were saying, when I'm in my
Well, I was gonna
kennel,
say,
and
like-
I have to let it simmer. You know what I mean? It's like some folks you want to let it
Yeah.
germinate, and that's fair.
I have to digest before I can like.
But so that's what I'm saying. So
In
a
the
lot of times,
same-
this like cinema score, or whatever the right name is, I think I'm getting that
Cinema
right.
score, yeah, you're right.
It's folks say like, oh, it's a little flawed, and other people are like, no, that's the most honest. Like, don't think, just answer. So,
However, I will
Fair.
say, demographic. For example, who's going to see the movie?
sure,
And
Yeah.
all that stuff.
what buy? I mean, there's bias with everything.
That's
so
why all the
there's-
algorithms are questionable,
Yeah.
and a lot of people don't trust things like Rotten Tomatoes. And I just say take it all with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Like, no information is bad information. Just know the context. And
Yeah.
And also, no random person on the internet just knows you or what you're gonna like. So
Well,
don't
that's-
ever count something out because it's got a bad rating.
why
Don't
I
get
like
confirmation bias because you have a feeling it's going to be bad and you see things that are bad about it.
Because you'll miss out on shit. You'll miss out on stuff.
And I also like how Rotten Tomatoes will give the two scores, right? Folks who
Yep.
are, critics
Popcorn
and
meter
have like
and-
studied film history and bring a different, lens to the approach. And then folks who are just like enjoying
like-
the popcorn. And yeah, I like or I,
I
don't.
like. I don't
Yeah.
like.
And that's like they're both valuable. So it's a nice way to temper. Because there's so many great movies, or whatever movies, that have like fantastic critic scores and garbage audience scores and
Yep.
vice versa. And it's I think that's so much fun.
when they average it out in the middle. And it's
Or
like,
sometimes it's
wow,
even.
this is great.
And that's interesting too, because it's like, oh, that's a 4-quadrant movie. They pleased everyone, or whatever.
Yeah.
Versus,
Check all the boxes.
Or
Yeah.
you can like, it's nice that at a glance, especially with like the way that Rotten Tomatoes does it, where that you can at a glance look at something and go, "Ooh, this is an instant cult classic." Like, oh yeah, critic rating really low, audience rating really high. It's
Yeah.
like it's really fun to just look at something and go,
That's going to be
"Well,
a
what
hit
did
in a
they
few
see
years.
here? What did they see here that no one else did?" Like,
Yeah.
that's exciting. I think that's
It's fun.
It's all a puzzle.
Yeah,
But that being
Cinema
said,
can
I
be
think
fun.
this
we're
episode is
not
a little
super
bit of our.
finite with it.
This episode's a little bit of our cinema score episode because we're just kind of light and breezy.
Yeah.
Letting you know, out of the theater, fresh.
Go
almost.
watch movies. Go enjoy times.
Yeah, I think that's genuinely, it's one of my favorite things is being able to go see stuff in theaters with you guys because
Hell
it's
yeah.
like, it's so fun to just like kind of get together with your friends and watch a
absolutely.
movie. But also it's like, I feel like I wholly enjoy it more when it's like, okay, there's a break in talking and stuff happening, and we're kind of moving into the next section, and I can like lean over and say something stupid. It's like I feel like a little kid in school again, where I'm like.
We don't get assemblies anymore, so we still have to get
This
that
is
our
our-
action. This is our assembly as adults.
Yeah.
We got a mystery science theater a little bit sometimes.
And no matter what, we're gonna have our little gab session at the end.
For sure.
Which is also my favorite part.
That's my
Standing in the
park.
parking lot, waiting for the van to pick us up and bag our heads and put us in again.
Gabbing, of the like dozen or so movies we're going to touch on to various degrees, do we want to? We didn't really discuss any approach or structure. Do we have any?
So I had a question before we dive into the new release stuff.
And we can come back to 20
Yeah.
years.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Bill
Oh, yeah.
Temple. I just
We
wanted
can-
to
This
maybe
was like
touch
a
base.
slight detour question before we hop back into 28.
Okay.
What have you guys been watching recently? That's not like anything
Not
that's
horror?
like whether it's if it
Or
is
just
horror, anything that's not a new release, like anything you've gone back and rewatched or something.
I love this question.
Yeah.
Oh, you can go first then.
Oh, I mean, I just like that question in general. I don't always have a good answer because sometimes I'm in that like mental desert of like I don't know what to watch. What even is a
Yeah.
movie? Do I like movies?
I'm just rerunning Community for the 50th time.
And sometimes I got to go to the TV well and just like enjoy my comfort shows and come back fresh. But whatever.
Cool.
Thankfully, I have been
16 minutes.
Dan Harmon, we love you.
Clock it.
No, community reference.
I'm crying.
But so I was feeling that a few months ago, and thankfully not so much anymore. But to cure myself of this, like, I don't know what to watch malaise.
Did you watch True Detective for the 50th time?
That would be. I thought about
That's
it.
always me and you. That's always our reset your palate go to.
It's also a little bit like, oh, is Joe okay? Like he went to his core comfort show. So
Joe went to Carcosa.
So I'm either really doing great or maybe not so much. But no. So what I did was on Netflix recently, folks might have noticed that the entire Bond collection, all 26 Eon movies, if I'm not mistaken,
Holy shit.
were on Netflix. And so I was like, you know what? I haven't seen anything prior to Daniel Craig and Pierce Brosnan. Let me do that homework. And I've been, very much enjoying for what it is, both good and bad. But it's just been so fun because you're going through decades, not just of like action cinema, not just like spy thriller cinema, but it's also like blockbuster cinema. It's also seeing them react to like, shit, Bruce Lee was clearly a thing.
Yeah.
And look what they tried to do to try to catch up.
And
Oh shit.
like filmmaking tricks, camera tricks.
Star Wars
changing.
just
Yeah.
happened. Look at Bond shooting lasers in space all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And like that.
His car is a submarine.
His car's been a submarine. It
was a tank.
Christopher Lee's car, which was like a Pinto, became a plane, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
And great is another word for absurd.
Who's been your favorite?
So far?
Yeah, who you been resonating with?
First of all, I am most excited to finally get to Timothy Dalton.
Yes.
Because he's right before
T-Dal, baby.
Brosnan, but I wanted to, be a purist completionist, and so I started with Dr. No, and I've been like, trudging away, and I had to take a break after, not Man with the Golden Gun, but what was the first Moore one? With Yaphet Kotto.
Was it the
and he gets
space one?
inflated into a friggin' balloon.
Oh my God. No, yeah, it wasn't.
No,
the space
not
one.
Moonraker. Like 4 before that. It's Roger
said it
Moore's
was-
first one. To Live and Let Live, or To Live and Let Die.
Yeah.
Although, what's his name did do the theme song, Paul McCartney.
Who's that?
I don't know her either.
Just some guy.
I don't know her either.
Doesn't sound familiar to me at
But
all.
oh my God, To Live and Let Die is bananas. And yeah, so
That's a
my
fun
favorite.
one.
So between Bond and Moore, I mean, they're both terrible to women. They both had like such.
Sean Connery and
They at
Moore?
least
Yeah.
each of them had at least one like truly inexcusable movie in terms of just like hardcore explicit racism, like really really like nasty stuff. That said, like you get like why the swarmy debonair leading man archetype is celebrated so much in that franchise, in that series, by that those two actors. But like I also have a lot of affection now for Q and M and Moneypenny, and it's great seeing them
I think it's so cool too that like you had brought up like Christopher Lee too, because Christopher Lee's like
just love him.
His ties with the writer of the James Bond novels.
Ian Fleming.
Ian Fleming. The fact that they were like literally friends and like he helped him write this, and it was like fucking Christopher Lee was a fucking spy.
So was Ian Fleming. Like they both
Like
worked in intelligence.
They both worked in intelligence.
Christopher Lee, by the way, killed a whole bunch of Nazis.
Yeah, he did.
I love Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
My man is so cool.
This is me and my stupid trivia facts. He once told...
I got a couple.
Yeah, he once told Peter Jackson how a death scene should go because if somebody got stabbed in the back, that's not the sound they would make, and this is how they fall. And Peter Jackson went,
How do you know that?
how do you know that? And he was like, a lot of men. Like, okay, thank you, Saruman. I'm gonna get out of here now. What about you, Claudia? What you been watching?
So most of my time is spent with the other professions, so not much time to watch movies. However, I am avidly on Fangoria and Bloody Disgusting. We love you guys. Just reading articles, just trying to see, what's the next thing that might pique my interest. So like a lot of the trailers, a lot of like the releases.
Who said movie kids can't read?
Well, no subtitles. But yeah, just a lot of stuff. Kind of just padding the watch list for when I am next free. So like some things
You
that
do a lot of research in your spare time.
I do, because I don't have the capacity to spend an hour and a half to 2 hours statically. So I can afford to give, my 15, my 20s, and just like, turn my brain off from work and just
Control, save, put it down, come right back to it.
So like one of the things I was interested in, She Loved Blossoms More was on Shudder through AMC. That's like a French-Greek sci-fi like time travel movie.
It's called what? It's just called More?
She Loved Blossoms More.
Oh. I thought it was a movie called More. by Sheila Blossoms.
My new drag name.
Directed.
Sheila Blossoms.
Yo, that's a great fucking drag name.
But More is M-O-O-R-E. But yeah, but like the premise, three brothers build a time machine to bring back their long dead mother in this comedic yet deeply disturbing exploration of grief. Very interesting.
Very wibbly wobbly. I like it.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, this looks fucking weird, and I'm like, cool. Other
Claudio,
thing.
I'm so sorry. I just got a notification. Sheila Moore is already a drag queen.
No!
It's actually Kristi Noem's husband. When he goes bimbo mode, that's the alias.
Bimbo mode. Bimbo's, honey, I am
really-
so sorry that
I'm
this.
sorry that you keep coming up with great ideas and they keep getting stolen out from under you, and I'm sorry. That's just not fair to you. But no, please go on. What else was Bloody Disgusting telling you about?
And very recently was as of this recording date, it was very recently the Trans Day of Visibility, so went down memory lane, going through. We touched base on. I saw the TV Glow and T Blockers and other
a lot of our posts
our
from
Pride Month movies.
Yes.
So I was like, let me see more movies with marginalized groups in them and like support it. So like Angry Black Girl and Her Monster, Sissy.
That's on Shudder. I've been trying to watch.
Yeah, so like just padding that because I want to, people that aren't white also are in horror movies, either in front of or behind the camera. So let's give some love to them, So it's just been a lot of padding, a lot of research.
You have been playing some games though. One game.
Resident Evil Requiem is my most consistent, I guess, escape into horror because I don't get to watch movies too often.
Masterpiece, baby.
But it is it's a gem. The
So
voice
fun.
acting is incredible. The visuals are disgusting.
Yeah.
If you've seen me
If you're playing the game in your house and you have family around, wear headphones.
Oh my god! And my headphones.
Just because Grace makes panting noises when she's running that sound suggestive.
And I've commented on them dozens of times. Like, why is she panting like this? But like other movies, like very briefly that came out that I wish I was able to see, regardless of reviews or whatnot. Return to Silent Hill, another video game adaptation. So like wanted to see that.
Yeah, that was something I was excited for until apparently every single person said,
Yeah.
no, thank you.
So I like as we've discussed before,
I'm still curious. I still want to check it out just out of
experience it.
curiosity, but
Yeah, to check off that like.
especially because it's the same director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you screw it up? But
So hoping other things like Redux was like, which was like this sci-fi like.
I was excited about that when it was at festivals last year. Where was it? Was it?
It
Did
came
come and
out
go?
20th.
God damn. Oh, okay. So it's
So
like,
it already
in the
had its
air.
thing,
Oh.
but like from non-spoiler reviews, which I try to stray.
yeah, no, because that's very
Yeah,
much on my
but
list
like
still.
it was everyone's like yeah.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I saw
this
it
is a
received
sick
pretty well.
concept, So I'm like, beautiful, amazing. But out of that, just going back down memory lane, there was a found footage movie, because we know I love found footage so fucking much. Hunting Matthew Nichols, which is...
Didn't even hear about that.
we're in the future, so it already made it to theaters, but like it's really cool. I love a slow burn. I love found footage. I love things that are given like a wink and a nod to Blair Witch. So like Blair Witch Project, not Blair Witch 2016.
What about Book of
But
Shadows?
so, okay, what was it called again?
Hunting Matthew Nichols.
Was this the one where like the posters and promotions advertisements had like a lot of like suburbia at night feel? Like, was there a lot of that imagery happening, or am I thinking of something else? What's the premise anyway?
I think you were correct, because if I pull
Who's
up the
Matthew?
thing,
Why are they hunting him?
That's
Why
the
are they
question.
hunting? Why are they hunting? What is it? Brother went missing 8 eons ago. She wants to.
Yeah, it's a woman tracking.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
I think I did
then I see the
some
poster
stuff
for
about
it, and I'm
this.
like, yes, that is giving high dark suburbia.
That's kind of what I vaguely. Thank you.
I
Yeah.
like that. I like that.
So I think it's really cool. I mean, like,
was almost-
there's only so many things you can do with, like, someone missing, someone going to find them, without them being like, that's Blair Witch, or that's X, or that's Y.
Well,
but like,
whoa. I mean, missing persons is like 80% of stories.
Eon,
So like,
for sure. But like when it's the added, like,
Sometimes you just
found
need a
footage.
catalyst,
Yeah. When
literally,
it's like the
that's
added.
one of the archetypes I just was not
Talking
teaching
about.
students that. This is my only job. Sorry.
It's when you get those like buzzwords of like found footage, and then like you go through the Rolodex of all the found footage things that include the
you're
same
right.
concept
I'm sorry.
that we're
That's
talking
true.
about.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, like, I'm excited for the prospects I have been finding, and I'm excited for what we were able to watch.
I was gonna say, I think we'll go through after letting Glenn answer this question. The things we have seen together first, maybe.
Yeah.
And then we can do the things that we've seen solo
On our own.
Yeah.
And then we can maybe return to other stuff that we're excited for in the future.
Yeah.
As you have.
That's good. Yeah.
As I-
into.
Yeah. For people that don't really know the behind the scenes, I'm kind of pulling the curtain back a little bit. Is like we all kind of do a little bit.
Oh, don't ruin the magic.
We all kind of do a little bit of research into like whatever the episodes are, stuff that's coming out. Like we are constantly talking about like upcoming
homework
things.
is for nerds.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking
But
about.
Claudio is the king of spreadsheets.
Not
And-
spreadsheets, just a Google Doc.
He keeps the Google Doc with the Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 reports, and
You are our keeper of words and
it is
information.
phenomenal.
Oh,
It is great work
Much appreciated.
because we'd be lost without him.
Oh, stop.
To
That's-
answer my question,
yeah.
To answer my own question. Allow myself to introduce
myself.
myself.
Yeah. Austin Powers get a hit differently when you go and rewatch it again. Incredible.
No, when I'm seeing literal like stuff that like was parodied in Archer, I'm like, oh, Archer! Like
Yeah.
I'm DiCaprio for a hot second.
Yep.
But come on, what have you been watching?
So as
DiCaprio,
far
but-
as like what I've been watching, it's you guys know me. I've just been kind of just watching a lot of reruns of Drag Race because it's just on constantly. Rooting for you, Darlene.
Banana.
And we had recently, me and Chell had recently started. I was like, hey, you have got to sit down and watch Midnight Mass.
Hell yeah.
And she's like, I love Mike Flanagan. And she really liked Hill House. And I was like, you're gonna like Midnight Mass.
A lot of people didn't like Midnight Mass, even if they did like both Hill House and Bly Manor.
Well, I know the stuff that she's into. She's into like the weird dark gothic shit,
No.
folklore horror stuff.
And that's great.
Yeah.
I just know a lot of people were not super psyched on that, which I don't understand those people because
I don't understand it
loved
either.
Midnight Mass.
Yeah, like the soliloquies alone in that are incredible. I can understand.
It's a writer's movie.
Yes.
Like it's great to look at, awesome camera work, really disturbing stuff, beautiful special effects, but it's a writer's movie.
And it's
a dialogue movie.
It is such a treat to rewatch.
It is an actor's movie, like
knowing.
the speeches and monologues in that. Like the sheriff has that awesome one about defending Islam, and he
talks about the comparisons between the Bible and the Quran.
So
it's just
Rahul Kohli, I love him.
Yes,
He's
I love
awesome.
him. Like he's incredible.
Yes.
Everybody in
chef
Mike
from
Flanagan's fucking like little tight family
And what's-
is so good. They're all great.
Speaking of, I forget her name, but she's in Forbidden Fruit. She's one of the witches in Forbidden Fruit. The younger sister from Hill House, and she's also like the star of Black Matter.
Yeah. Nell.
Nell, yeah.
I don't remember her actual name.
She's one of the witches in Forbidden Fruits, and like that made me the most excited. Like, oh, I actually do have to watch this
And
now.
it's I was like
Just
telling
speaking of things that
Chell,
we're excited
and
for.
I was like, we both love Mike
I remember her
Flanagan.
name.
All of his TV work specifically has been fucking incredible. Like he's obviously got movie credits that are under his belt that are absolutely wonderful. Shout out Dr. Sleep because I know Joe is going to explode if I don't mention it. But
Carrie's on the way.
But his TV shows, the way that because writing for TV is there's so much more that you can get into. And he pads it out in such a way that it's like, hey, I know this scene is going to make you uncomfortable. It's going to go on a little long, but you just got to stick with me because literally the next scene is your candy. Like, you're going to get it in the next scene. You're going to be like, yay, happy, we're moving on to the next thing. And the pacing is just incredible. It is such a treat rewatching Midnight Mass with knowing, like, the end. Like, I've seen the whole thing, beginning to end, loved it. Now I'm rewatching it, and I'm able to, like, kind of pick up on little things that I didn't see before, and I'm like, this is so fun.
That's been especially true for me with Hill House because of all the background stuff.
Yes.
But also
trying to find all the
specifically-
ghosts.
Exactly.
Victoria Pedretti.
But I was gonna say, yes, thank you, and she's amazing. But that especially was in the Poe. What was the Poe thing?
Oh, Fall of the House of Usher.
Fall of the House of Usher.
That is the next one on our list.
Because that is literally just
We're
like
we're
Also
gonna,
has Raul in it?
yes.
that is also like
And he plays such a shithead in that one too. They all are shitheads in Fall of the House of Usher.
but that is
Kate
literally
especially.
stitching together all of Poe's stories, and so it's like just you know references on references on references.
Yeah,
So
and it's a treat for if you're not a fan of Poe. It's a treat for if you are a fan, like a passive fan of Poe, or if you're like deep into it. and
You're like, yeah, I've heard of him.
I know.
Speaking of ravens.
There you go.
Wow.
Full circle,
you,
baby.
you sent us here.
No,
You planned for
I'm-
us to land here.
I'm so
This is
thrilled
my
about
design.
it.
It's not my design. This is my design.
One of the things that I had picked up with like the rewatch was like the amount of Steadicam work is incredible. Like Mike does not like using a crane or a fucking trolley.
He's very intentional.
Yeah.
He wants
And
a
it's-
steady,
you-
literal, you know.
Second episode opens with their like examining stuff on a beach, and it's like a 15-minute scene. One fucking take with a Steadicam, baby. One fucking take.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome. I don't remember.
It's incredible.
I'm thinking
Go
of
rewatch it.
Well, I always remember the slow zoom with the folks with the glass and the like the lights going. Like that's just such an like I don't even want to describe it to not spoil it. Like it's
No,
really
it's so good. No, so like the plan is that we're gonna finish this one and then we're gonna move on to Hill House. And I've had Chell like, hey, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna shut all the lights off, we're gonna put all of our
Be intentional.
We're gonna put our devices away. We're just gonna be in the moment.
We're gonna lock in.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because we're watching this with the aspect of like how you would read a book. So like you are in it, you're reading it, you get to your end of the chapter, you bookmark it, you close the book, and then you start hypothesizing, then you start thinking, and you're like, what's gonna happen
so you have
next?
time
Where's
for
the
like
pre-
commentary
Yeah.
and like
So it's like we're kind of doing it
It's a little
like
book clubby.
yeah, a little
Okay.
book clubby with each episode. Like we're literally watching one episode a night, so that way we get done, we kind of talk about it a little bit, and then we.
your restraint is
yeah.
so immaculate. Because I'd be like, please, we need another.
No, it's great, and it's like it's even more fun, especially with like Mike Flanagan having his reoccurring crew that like you don't have to IMDb every time that you're fucking sitting there. You go, I know that guy, I know that lady. If you don't remember the name, you look it up afterwards, and it's been so fun being so deliberate with it.
Speaking of Mike Flanagan and movies, TV, I think he's eventually going to work on his like magnum opus of adapting The Dark Tower. That's going to be a multimedia.
I believe as of recording this, they have already started shooting The Exorcist.
Oh, so they're done with Carrie, I guess? I keep forgetting. Is Carrie going to be a movie or a show?
Show.
It's going to be a series. Okay, so
Yeah,
that's just going
I
to be
think that's
ongoing.
done. I think they started Exorcist.
But if it's a
already,
TV show, so
Yeah,
they
Exorcist
There's
is
a lot of
a
development,
film.
Yeah,
but
that I
Carrie
knew,
is
that I knew.
a television series.
Okay, that's what I kept forgetting. Cool. Well, awesome.
You know
so,
who I'd love to see in a Mike Flanagan movie?
Dan Stevens.
Jack
Claudio.
O'Connell.
Fuck!
Sure, yeah, why not?
Jack O'Connell. Fuck! How's that? Anyway, coming back.
How's that?
Damn it, it's not 28 minutes. Damn it.
I am so glad that
28 minutes later.
20 minutes later, the Bone Temple.
Bone Temple.
yes.
Got to.
We're going to avoid spoilers as best as we can. If there is anything that's going to come up as spoilers, we're probably going to try and let you know ahead of time. So we're going to try and avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in general,
We'll keep
yeah.
this spoiler-free
These are
review
still new
style.
movies, man.
I think if we're going to mention any spoilers, like let's like save it for the end of the episode, or like make a clear delineation because like we're all still kind of trying to check
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
They were very new, so that's
Yeah.
Different than Slash Chicks, who have been around for like 30 plus years.
Yeah, which we spoil in the first 4 minutes of the
But no, let's get into Bone Temple because I'm so excited to not only discuss it, but like I know we were saying like, oh, this is so refreshing because we don't have to compare it to anything, but it is a sequel,
It
a
is.
part 2 of 3, which is
It's the middle
itself-
child. It's a middle child, and it's the weird little black sheep of the 3, because it's not directed by the same directors.
Danny Boyle passes the baton to Nia DaCosta and
Still script spot.
Smashed it.
knocks it out of the park.
Smashed it. Same production company, same all of it, same writers and whatnot, just like
Alex
different
Garland's
directors.
still doing
Yep.
it.
Yep, Alex is still there.
So fucking sick though.
And I was going to say that it's really fun to revisit because we did discuss, of course, the first 28 years later.
That was
last year.
one of our first episodes, like one of the
It was
first
early-
couples.
I think, that
3.
was like the Hello...
Or no, 2.
Hello Summer, Goodbye, or Goodbye Summer, Hello
That's
Fall.
9.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
9 or 10, something like that.
I'm excited to discuss it because so many people, despite loving 20 years later, and it was like across the board pretty much a hit for everyone, except for some folks that I noticed were very prickly about the ending, about the cliffhanger of it all, about who the hell are these, Teletubby obsessed looking, weirdo gymnastics
Dude, the amount of people that were like, "Oh, the Power Rangers are here."
complaining, whining so hard. And I was like, guys, trust these masters who know what they're doing.
Also, it's been like hinted at and laid out through the entire movie. You just weren't fucking paying attention. Christ.
Well, regardless, it
I was
was.
like, was it?
Yeah.
I was just thinking that too.
No,
Like,
no.
what?
There was graffiti on walls. There was dead bodies that were found
yes,
skinned.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought
We
you meant
saw-
like
we
there
s-
was
we saw
there were
awful
jumpsuits
things.
way in
No,
the
no.
Got it. Okay.
That being said, because yes, like activity was foreshadowed. However, this sort of like very literally colorful gang of folks. It is a tonal shift. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like, oh, people that didn't like the end don't know what they're talking about. Like, no. It was like a choice to kind of like,
Oh, yeah.
pivot left,
Do
turn
not get me
hard.
wrong. And it's also so
At the end.
comedic that out of left field come these awful blonde wigs and tracksuits.
Dare we?
I don't think the wig work was awful. That's a little
Oh, it's in comparison to everything
harsh
you
to
had
the
seen.
production people.
They're thirsty.
No, yeah.
But also it's an apocalypse, so they're allowed to be thirsty. Are we keeping spoiler free for later as well?
I would just say let's
So we're not going to
discuss
talk about
them.
how the movie
I was
ends, just vague addressing of it. Because
Sure.
I was going to be like, I agree, like how the movie was getting to its point, and then it ends with what it does is an incredible tonal shift.
yeah,
Enough that you're like, get the
for-
second check
I wasn't
28
trying-
years or for
Yeah,
Bone Temple?
for years.
Years.
we can
Okay.
spoil years. That came
Okay,
out a year
yeah.
ago.
So
But
Alfie,
I'm talking about the end.
yeah, Alfie makes his trek. After
it's 29 years now.
after losing, his mother, and it's a very, very emotional scene. And he
Bro, I
decides
cried
to,
in the theater, man.
yeah,
Same.
he goes back into the island on his own, and he's this Lone Ranger, and then they complete just like a what the fuck am I watching?
Yep. He
But
gets,
also,
he gets surrounded. It looks like all hope is lost, and then these fucking weirdos show up and start doing parkour.
And for me, that is a great cliffhanger because you are left with that what?
Wait, go
feeling.
back. I need more information.
Yeah,
like, what's
yeah.
happening?
And as frustrating as some folks might find that, like, nah, like that's what you want in a good cliffhanger. Like that is the design. Like that is the purpose, is to like kind of tick you off a little bit, but make sure you come back because
if you were binge watching it, like it as a series,
There you
and
go.
both seasons are out, you're gonna see that last episode and go, "That's how season 2 ends."
Speaking of you and your wife's discipline,
I have to go to the next episode.
So have we all seen the Portlandia episode where they're just
One
like,
more episode. Yes.
So one more episode, and they just
Battlestar
like
Galactica.
and they lose their jobs.
Are
and,
you
like,
Ronald D. Moore?
become isolated from their families and community because they're just like, well, one more episode of Battlestar.
Yep.
Come on, bud.
I just
Who
got
among
fired
us?
from work. Oh, one more episode?
So one more.
Yeah.
I've been there.
I gotta find Ronald D. Moore. Are you Ronald D. Moore? I am a Ronald D. Moore.
But so then Bone Temple, right, is not only like perfectly set up, I think, for getting into this gang and this weird thing, and I love that it picks up right where they left off. You don't have
No hesitation.
You don't have a second to breathe.
It literally goes, boom.
It's awesome.
Movie, directed by, produced by, go.
Go, yeah.
But for as much as they somewhat sideline our protagonist, and I say that like with asterisks because I don't think it's like even a like I don't mean it derogatorily.
Yeah, if you're going for Aaron, he's not there.
But no.
I'll say that. Yeah.
I was
We're
saying,
sidelining that hero.
I'm sorry, I meant Spike.
Yeah.
I meant to say
Yeah,
Spike.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, because I feel like with 28 years later, it's like we had our mains. We had our main people.
Well, it was
for
part
yeah.
one. It was act one. It established the world.
Yeah.
It gave us the characters. And now, middle chapter, we get to have our rising action. We get to have our little neat detour, which is not like an irrelevant detour, right? It's going to make Spike who he needs to be for part 3.
Hero's journey.
We're also going to have, what's her name? Yeah, this is a very, very, I think, going to be a very traditional kind of hero's journey by the time it's all wrapped up.
Oh, for sure.
But that all to say, I was just so excited to get to know Jimmy. I was
Yes.
just so excited to see what's his face's performance.
Jack O'Connell.
Especially after Sinners like kicked all of our butts in the best way possible.
And you know what? They did the thing that made the most sense of like Jack O'Connell, barn,
Stop.
music. And it was just everything is great.
A barn
Everything
hates
is
to
great.
see Jack O'Connell coming.
Because that shit's gonna go crazy.
Yeah. A la Sinners.
Well, yeah, okay.
The Juke
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
all of the things are accounted for, and it's like it was fantastic. Just as like a little like, hey, blah 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 blah. I know what people are going to be doing, and I know what people are going to be thinking for Halloween. Do not go as Jimmy for Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jimmy is designed to look like
Yeah.
Jimmy Savile. Look him up. Disgusting, horrible human being. Do not dress up as him for Halloween. He is a horrible, horrible man.
Long story short, frequent rider of the Epstein Express. That's all you need to know.
Yes.
But literally protected by
BBC.
higher ups in British society and in highfalutin circles. He was very much protected from any kind of law enforcement consequences for not just like a few years, but like a couple decades. Not only that, he was a children's TV show performer, so like it's extra insidious.
Yes. He is a predator.
And not for nothing, like it's really come to light how really all organizations, from like Boy Scouts, like Scouts of America, all the way through, name your favorite charity for children, even if they started out with the best of intentions, like they attract monsters. And
Yes.
the good ones who know how to mask rise up to the ranks. And any of these organizations that have been around for more than a couple decades have already seen their monsters graduate to the board. And so, like, be very skeptical of these organizations, unfortunately. But
All
among
I'm saying,
them,
it's not a
all
good
the same.
costume. It's not a good look, honey.
There's a lot
Yeah.
better ones. There's so many.
So many
be
better
happy
ones.
that we're allowed to say, how's that?
Yeah.
How's
That's
that?
enough. That's where we draw the line.
That's where we draw the line.
Fun
If you're
fact-
looking for a good costume, do Ray. That's all I'm saying. Do Ray.
Regardless, though, Bone Temple really gets into that character, really gets into his backstory, and not only, like, I think fully delivers on everything that needed to be, makes so much sense, and it's just exciting and whatever, blah, blah, blah. The movie also gets to, like, yeah, we sideline Spike a little bit, and, like, no, we're not hanging out with Aaron Taylor Johnson at all, but we are hanging out with our boy Ralph Fiennes. Rafe Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes. Ray Fiennes. Ralph Fiennes. Pronounce his name the horribly wrong way.
I mean it with love and respect because he's amazing and he's awesome.
We get to sit with him and his incredible record collection for a good chunk of this movie.
As my intro tried to remind everyone.
The soundtrack was so good. I was kicking my feet in the theaters.
But of course, with The Good Doctor, we're also getting his favorite patient, and I loved seeing that whole saga unfold.
Yes.
So I think you get plenty in the Bone Temple. I think Nia DaCosta absolutely nailed it, and I love her. I love her work.
God, yes.
Check out Hedda, starring Tessa Thompson. So good. So just mwah, mwah, mwah.
It's funny you should
Do you like sassy people being bitchy to each other? Watch Hedda.
It's also really cool. Fun fact. I'm glad you brought up that movie because I was going to segue in a fun fact. So Danny Boyle's cinematographer, we're going to go back to 20 years later, was Anthony Don Mantle, who has worked with Danny Boyle for a few things like T2 Train Spotting and other movies of that. I think 127 Hours, Slumdog Millionaire. So they have rapport. Nia DaCosta does the same thing with her cinematographer.
So many directors do.
Sean Bobbitt, who
cool.
who did Marvel's, Hedda, and so it's really cool to see that they're like, hey, we have a sick idea.
We got our team.
We have a good rapport.
But also, like,
let's
I trust
shorthand. I trust you with this vision.
Yeah.
Very much Mike Flanagan coded. I have a good relationship with these people. I know they know what I am going to ask for and deliver. And you could tell the difference in.
One of the movies we're going to discuss shortly is by a family, the Addams family, 1D, not 2. Not spoiling anything, but they are literally a family. Like, they have that shorthand. They are communicating and conceptualizing and trusting and being vulnerable, like, on a level that, few other groups, collectives could. And that's, really exciting. I think it churns out, I think
it gives more raw and...
distinctive work.
Absolutely.
And it shows the consistency with doing this, and it shows the intention behind it, whereas you're not getting something like a Platinum Dunes would have put out in the early 2000s where it's we're mishmashing a fucking team of who's available.
It's ironic though that both will yield styles. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Platinum Dunes is just a style of here's what not to do.
Yeah.
Here's how you accidentally create an auteurship that nobody actually wants because it's just harsh and purposeless and gross and whatever, versus something with thought, intention, purpose. And for me, when style meets substance, it's because of purpose. It's because of intention. When you hit your goal, that's where I'm oh shit. If you're just doing stuff, I'm not necessarily going to be able to, invest quite as much. But regardless, I just think that's so funny.
And that's not to say that, don't take a chance on the new guy because you have your crew peel. Absolutely not. That's not what we're saying.
No.
But
How will I get experience if you don't give me a shot? Everyone at 16 when they're trying to get a job.
I was going to say, we're anti-nepotism around here.
If I had a nickel,
that said, if you got a team that works.
Yeah, if you got a team that's yes. But
give me a chance to come through. Yeah. But, it is really nice
Mike Flanagan,
to see.
call Claudio.
Please. You can do both. You can balance.
Yeah, but it is really cool to see, people because even with Nia DaCosta and Sean Bobbitt, there was a point where that was their first time working together. So it's just a matter of the right people at the right time meeting and hitting that lightning in a bottle for each other. This is
and establishing rapport.
Yeah,
where it's oh no, I can tell you guys had a blast making this.
Absolutely, and just give it the shot. And have an idea and agree on that idea.
Yeah.
Because communication is so important.
Now, speaking of agreeing on an idea, the next one that comes to my mind that did not agree on a full
I'm cool to move on from Bone Temple. Are we
go see Bone Temple. It is available on Netflix, I think, as of right now.
I think we've discussed one movie.
Yeah.
We sure did. So
let's
hey, no, we've talked about
going.
We talked about James Bond.
let's go.
So the next movie that we went to theaters to see together was Undertone.
Undertone. Was this a bit? Are you hurting me?
I think you're doing it on purpose.
You're doing it on
trying to hurt
purpose.
Claudio.
No, I would never.
We were all very excited for Undertone, and I think only one of us
One of
walked
us
away
came
happy.
out of it with a Paula Abdul review of it.
Could you guess who it was?
Okay.
Paula,
So-
would you like to tell us what you thought of it
here,
first?
So
No.
here I was, being a podcaster, watching a movie about podcasting. Good
There were so
Lord.
many. I will say, and like,
Okay, wait. Okay, we're about to talk about Undertone. Undertone
Yes.
came out in February. If you don't know, Undertone had a lot of heat coming out of the festivals that it premiered at last year, if I'm not mistaken. And it is called Undertone because, as Glenn just mentioned, it's about essentially like noise demons, and it's a movie.
Spooky, scary podcast goes
so
awry.
yeah,
There you go.
Podcast
So it's a movie
crew,
that's meant to be experienced not just visually, but you are meant to really like
pay attention
scrutinize.
to what you are listening to at all times.
Yes, they didn't know about their demons, whereas we know about ours. It's fine. That's why we're good.
That's
Yeah, we make friends with ours. They were just being rude, and that's why they got.
Yeah.
But no, anyway, so these
You got
podcasters.
guy.
Listen,
got
white people get an email that says "Open Me," and they keep diving in, and that's to their own devices.
Because Undertone is not the story of like a prince from a foreign nation doing like an email chain. Like they don't get them that way.
So this podcast group,
All I have to do is
duo.
was about to say-
It's a duo. It's a duo.
Wait, it's not a group. It is a duo
It is a
specifically
duo.
because what a duo. Holy cow. The working relationship between these two remote individuals, I don't know. It's hard enough for us four adults to like do it in person. Scheduling and whatnot, whatever.
Admittedly, if we had our own like good setups with good microphones,
We could
and
do it remotely.
We could do it remotely,
are
and
you
we're
talking
also taking the extra step for the viewer to put it onto video. You're welcome.
I'm not.
There's a lot more production behind the scenes than you think, baby.
I don't know why we're talking smack on our amazing. Like this is fantastic.
Oh, no.
What I'm saying is we put damn work in. But like I'm saying that, yeah, I feel like if we all had our own home setups, we could probably do it the way that they did
But it's
it,
more fun this way.
It's
anyway.
more fun this way.
But yeah, so this duo podcaster group of Evie and the voice of Justin. It's very important that you only see Evie, and
Is it?
I will talk about the pros of this movie eventually, but everything is between them. He receives an email chain with a lot of audio files, and their
Well, first of all, they are a podcast that investigates supernatural things.
One of
Okay,
them's
so
a
as
skeptic. One of them is
the main character of our story is the skeptic, and
Justin is a believer.
yes, Justin's the believer.
And
so they go through the audio files. Chaos ensues the deeper they go into it, as any cautionary
Wait,
tale of
Did you hear that?
Danuta.
So I will say that to the movie's
you
credit,
go
I
there?
found it excruciatingly frustrating because I don't think they really did much with the premise, and I think they just tortured me with sound stuff, which is like something I struggle with. So like I cannot really give an unbiased review. I was also like already in the middle of like a anxiety attack because I had like a run-in with a state trooper before like coming to the theater. So like I can't be completely unbiased. But that being said,
So
you said chaos ensues. I think that is the most accurate way to describe this thing.
And
It's just bananas.
All right, so it's been well established that I'm the person that goes into these movies with not watching any fucking trailers. I don't watch anything. At the minimum,
me.
I have a base knowledge of what it's about based on movie posters.
sure.
It's or what you guys like kind of filter tell me about what it is. This one, fuck, dude. I really kind of there's a handful of trigger warnings that I wish I would have fucking known about before going into
I
this
will
one.
say that is the biggest takeaway from this movie. Well,
Go on.
two things. One of which, Joe, I
Like,
love
and
you,
this
and
is
I'm
no
very
shade.
sorry that you were put through that ringer.
I'm not. I'm still happy we saw it together.
Yeah, but like,
And no shade to the movie.
Now knowing
I'm
that's-
not saying don't see a movie because there's trigger warnings. It's like just be
No,
prepared
yeah.
when you're going into something.
because you don't know what direction something may turn to.
Yeah.
And like
There's
knowing
times
now
where
that like
being
sound is
blind.
not like rampant sounds of chaos is not your forte.
So I'm not going to read the whole thing because there's multiple paragraphs, but I'm going to read one paragraph from my review where it just says, "Can we talk about the murdered babies? Did you know this movie is 83% murdered babies? I sure as fuck didn't. And if I had known, I absolutely would not have bothered because I don't know how to handle that shit well. Nor am I ever interested in watching slow burn scenes of adult children intimately caring for and waiting for their terminally ill parents to die. That is the other, 12% of this movie. And then 7% of it is shaky cam and some asshole on a podcast that we never meet asking, "Did you hear that? You okay? You there?"
And the other 2% is actually pretty decent sound design.
That's the other frustrating thing.
And really good lighting.
The craft
was here.
No, truly.
It was aesthetically and audibly really fucking cool.
It's to its credit, it sounds amazing. It looks amazing. I thought it was gonna be if this is a real sound movie, I guess I could say goodbye to any interesting visuals.
Yeah, this was no straight to Tubi fucking original.
Fantastic
this was good.
cinematography, and honestly, I would say decent.
No shit on
performances.
Tubi fucks, but
decent performances as well. I just hated the writing. I hated all the choices.
Yeah, I stand by my my thing about this, where it's this could have been condensed down to 10 to 15 minutes.
I think it would have been a great short.
And this would have been incredible in an anthology movie.
There you go.
But I just got word recently that they're planning a fucking sequel.
Really?
Prequel.
Oh yeah. Okay.
based off of the two people in the audio file.
Yeah.
Whatever. There was no real specific mythology. If it's all in the peripheral.
It feels like an afterthought, though. That it's all right. Well, we fucking blew our load on that story already. But what if we did it again?
Hey, yo. Well, all things to say that the budget for this movie was sub $1 million, and it box office, and I'm gonna give it flowers.
Still valid horror.
Yeah, I'm gonna cycle it back to what you were saying before with Joe, what was the word? The metrics and the analytics, don't take it with a grain of salt. Sure. Because box office just means people went to see the movie.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it was a
you generated,
it was a commercial success.
Yeah, it means that successfully generated buzz.
Scream 7 made a lot of money.
Did that mean it was good?
No, right.
Exactly.
I think we all know that.
And I feel like this is definitely going to be one of those ones that this is going to Undertone is going to be a very decisive among groups, people that liked it, people that didn't like it.
To be clear, the demon that they find in these audio files feeds on dead babies.
It's the demon of miscarriages, which the sentence alone, if that's a rough.
Look, and those issues are worth discussing and exploring and paying attention to, but that's not the balls on you to do that in the year of 2026 and the year of the Epstein Transparency Act not being followed through on. That's either, I don't know whether to commend it or be poor form. You know what I mean? It's either one.
It's
either
very. Or this is definitely one of those ones that kind of bit me in the ass not being prepared to go into something. I went into it blind and I was smacked up, and I went into a fight and I didn't know what the weight class was, which is totally fine. That's on me. But
it's a good way to put it.
It's one of those things where it does a great job of giving you a lot, but not in the trailers.
There were things that piqued my interest for sure.
From the beginning, keeping up with the updates, the little teaser things they put in, all those things. I couldn't have confidently told you, oh yeah, you guys didn't see that coming? No.
I never knew where it was going. I didn't think it was going anywhere though.
Mm-hmm.
Did it?
Well, so I've said my piece. What else did you like about it? Why beyond the technicalities did you find it to be something that resonated with you?
I just enjoy the experimental aspect of it. Was it a full-on home run? No. Was it a first base cheat to second base?
Yeah, it was at least a solid double. It was very ambitious.
Yeah,
it was a double on a bunt.
It was creative.
Look at you.
Sports.
There's a lot of things that
our wives would be so proud.
This is a sports podcast now.
Our wives are at a professional game. Yes.
Yeah. But I love how we set this.
While we talk about
our geek movies. I love how we set this this basis.
But we're bros.
Yeah, I love that.
We're the bros. Yeah. Drinking our vitamin water and
Baja Blast. Sorry, keep interrupting. Go on.
You're fine.
I really wanted you to answer that question.
No.
I do, not hate.
There were points that I really enjoyed, but like for the sake of, this is what I was making the point of. I love that we set this ground at the beginning about like the metrics and like take everything with a grain of salt, and like you can't deny what you're seeing because of all the work that we've done studying movies and like doing these things, because like it's very easy for me to say, well, this was an indie movie, and like, well, like this didn't make sense, but it's okay, turn your brain off. But like, I don't want to turn my brain off.
And that's also not what you
there's-
typically associate with indies either.
Well, and like there is time when you're supposed to just sit down and be like, I'm going to suspend it.
Yeah, but
Just
like
live in it.
there's specific moments that like we all discussed that we agreed like this didn't make, like in the map, this felt like a detour that didn't need to be taken, or like this thing, if it was given more light or exposition to it, would make more sense or probably add some weight to what we were being presented with.
I think I've said this before. I think like it all comes down for me like is expectations, right? Like if your expectations, are not attuned, not calibrated correctly, I guess, I feel like you're gonna have a bad time one way or another.
For sure.
And I feel like that's kind of why I go into these movies anymore with no trailer experience, because it's just like
You don't want the expectation.
I don't want the expectation, but I do subconsciously put it on myself when I know who the actors are, or when I know who the director is, or what the writer is.
I find that I can't help but start making prejudgments just by knowing, the studio, the cast, the director, the writer, like any of that can clue me in. Or if I don't know any of those things, that is also itself a sign. So I'm like, you know what? Let me at least watch the trailer, get a sense of the vibe, and then I can try to set my expectations accurately. And then that's my own fool's, errand.
This one was like difficult, and I mean that in a lot of different ways. I don't mean it in a negative way, because film is art and art is subjective.
Yeah.
And a challenging film isn't a bad film.
Exactly.
However,
But if you are just looking to turn your brain off, or if whatever.
Yeah, this is not the movie for you.
for sure.
I do want to say that I did feel personally victimized by the way they signed off their podcast, because
I don't even remember.
fuck.
It was very close.
It was
very close.
damn near close to what I say every time we record.
And if I had a
I was
nickel,
like, fuck you guys.
if I had a nickel for every time we watched a movie together where there was a podcast character and they did something and we all had to like just shiver in our chairs. I'm talking about you. I know what you did last summer. Yeah, you'll remember.
Yeah, I didn't want to, but
the
I
girl
did.
that she found
We've
at the
never
airport.
been stabbed by a harpoon.
Oh yeah, but she was talking about her podcast, and it felt like we're like, shit, man.
See, that's why I
Do
don't.
we sound like that?
That's why I don't
Kidding,
talk
of
about my.
course.
She was true crime. Totally.
Oh, I don't
different.
shove about it.
No,
I'm like, oh
because
yeah.
I don't want to be that guy.
I'd be like, yeah, we just recorded our next episode. You should watch it. And then I don't see the follower account come. I'm like, you guys should follow the account, damn it. But yeah, this movie had a lot of things going. I feel like it. Okay, so my train of thought is that this felt very Paranormal Activity, where we know how it's going to end.
Did we?
In my brain, I'm like, there's no way she's getting out of this. Or like, spoiler territory, spoiler terrorist. But like, there's only so far you can go down the rabbit hole before you face what's waiting for you at the end of the tunnel, which is not a hole, but
Did
like,
she though? Like, okay, so if we're
in my brain, how this movie. Okay, spoiler territory.
This is spoiler territory for Undertone.
For Undertone.
Thank you.
So the way this movie ended.
Nice.
I can visualize it now that I had time to saturate in it, and like maybe this is a cop out. I would love to read an interview where he describes Ian Toussaint,
the director.
Yes, describes what the effort was for this, but it felt like her interaction with her mother was becoming a new audio file in itself. And the point of that being in complete darkness is because you don't see it's becoming another addition to what's happening.
This was a brave concept, and I feel like they tried to communicate something that was successfully done like over the radio in like the 1920s, like in the 1940s, like. This is the film adaptation of that today.
Except not the War of the Worlds.
Had multiple.
I
of those.
mean, it's exactly what it was, though. It's like, because you could literally
You could close your eyes
You could throw
and
this
watch the
movie
movie.
on. I mean, you're missing out because the camera work, the lighting, all of it. You're missing out because
Spectacular.
it looks fucking great. But you could theoretically close your eyes and just listen to this movie, and you're getting all the information.
And I think that was the idea a little bit.
yeah.
For sure. And there was
But that's boring for a movie. Fuck.
I didn't find it boring. I just like, I didn't.
No, I didn't find it boring. But if you did that,
Yeah.
I didn't
If that's
under-
what you want to do for
a
a movie.
movie is not an audio file.
I didn't understand like what we were meant to make of things, and so it's interesting to hear you say like, no, I very much found it to be like, ooh, becoming part of like the new for the next one and blah blah blah. Like I get that, and that sounds cool. I don't feel like that was even in like the text or like the subtext. Like
So-
I feel like that's your awesome interpretation, and I love that, and I love that about art, right? And I don't need a director or writer to like spell it out for me. But I
Absolutely.
did not feel like it had enough clues or like anything that would
Momentum
guide me,
that-
not necessarily pacing or momentum, but just anything that would guide me toward a conclusion to draw. So,
yeah, go ahead.
discussing the end, I was just like, stuff's just sort of happening at this point. Stuff's just sort of happening. Lights are flashing. Walls maybe don't exist. Are we in the file? Are we listening
There's
to
a
the phone
YouTube
call?
video that shows up.
That's what I'm
Which
saying,
I
like,
wish
it just
I
felt
wanted
so
more on
random
that.
and non-cohesive to me.
Yeah.
Like stuff can be weird, stuff can be artistic, stuff can be symbolic, but be cohesive.
So I think this is a thought that I just had that popped into my head. I may have said this before. I don't think I did. This movie sits very comfortably in a very new genre of horror that I think me and you are not really ones that were like, yeah, I love it. I think me and you are still on the fence about it, about the creepypasta style of horror movies. AKA like Skinamarink or
Yeah.
which I still haven't seen.
we also got like Backrooms coming out soon.
Backrooms.
So pumped for that.
So it's like
Exit 8,
Exit 8.
Iron Law.
Yes. And I think it's like where it sits within that creepypasta kind of thing where it's like there is no resolve in a lot of the creepypasta stories that exist on the internet. They're just scary for the sake of being scary. And I think that me and you kind of look at things as like we want that story structure. We want that house that's built.
Speaking of creepypasta and houses, I think we both, if I'm not mistaken, really loved the explicit creepypasta adaptation that is Channel Zero. The anthology series by, I love the man because he's done a lot of cool stuff that I enjoy. But Channel Zero was an early, or not early, but like a mid-teens.
Nick Antosca?
Yes,
Tosca?
Nick Anticosta.
Antosca.
It almost is that. I did not see his movie Antlers, which was not terribly well received, but I'm
was
still
fine.
curious about
It
it.
was
Yeah, I
fine.
heard it was just okay.
Yeah.
But he also did brand new cherry flavor for Netflix, which is super weird and just like
That is
awesome.
super fucking strange.
So
yeah.
strange.
I hated the tattooing scenes because it was so fucking inaccurate.
But Channel Zero is really cool because it's a horror anthology where each season is a new story. But episode by episode, you're carrying through with the same characters, the same narrative. And it's just really, really cool and surreal. I always kindly or try to affectionately describe it as like the alternative to American Horror Story. Because if you're like me and you don't fuck with Ryan Murphy and you're just kind of like, wow, American Horror Story, amazing promotional ads that are way more artistic than the actual show.
Yeah.
It had its time. It had its time.
It had its moment.
I know we have fans in the room.
Yeah, as an old school fan, it
Yeah.
had its time. It's lost its luster.
Absolutely. Agreed.
But I always thought this was like a really cool alternative because whereas that was kind of like bombastic and colorful and like wow and like over the top and kind of pulpy and like really a little tongue in cheek,
And Evan Peters' ass.
very tongue in cheek.
Bother.
And I love Evan Peters. But Channel Zero, I think, is just a much more restrained, much more slow burn, much more, hey, look at the cinematography, hey, look at these surrealist visuals, like
Yeah.
very explicitly surrealist, very much, here's a creepypasta premise.
Oh,
We're
wow.
gonna try to
They
do
are
something with it.
creepypastas. Holy shit. Candle
So it's
Clue.
funny, yeah, the more recent movie trend, I feel like we're still feeling it out.
It's new horror.
But-
it's a new genre that's getting legs. It's going. That we're moving from television. We're moving from like stories on like Reddit to like YouTube videos to like shorter TV shorts to TV series to movies now. It's like it's picking up pace, and I think it's going. It is. I truly believe that this is going to be the next trend. Like this is going to be the big thing for horror movies. You watch.
I can see it being a trend. I don't know if it's going to be successful. I am really like, hey, hold the cards close to the vest when it comes to all the internet.
I don't know.
Stuff.
I feel like
No, that's fair.
I'm not one of those people that's like, I know what the youth's like, but it's like, I feel like when, a lot of times with music, I'll find a band that is like nothing. It is this little tiny band, or maybe they had like one little thing where their head pokes up out of something, and I get into them, I think they're really cool, and I will literally look at y'all and go, this band's gonna be fucking huge. Literally a year later, never fails.
You did that. You called it. I remember you calling it with Knocked Loose. I was like, "Hey man, you ever hear that?" I was like, "Yes, I've heard of them." And then like 6 months
I was
later,
like,
they
gospel
were
fucks, and it was like, bam, there they are.
very much so. But no, I can definitely appreciate that. No, it's a good prediction. I just am always more weary when it comes to
I'll stand on it.
well, especially with horror, because like it's just such an inherently dice roll kind of genre. Like we do weird shit. You know
And
what I mean?
it changes so fast.
It's a
so
fickle and like
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just conservative.
But you
I
know,
also don't
you know what
bet
doesn't change though?
often.
You know what doesn't change? Our affinity for seeing lovely, brave women covered in blood.
The women covered in blood genre, speaking of subgenres, is a real thing. Like, you want to talk trends, there are lists on our beloved letterbox that is just women covered in blood.
Does that feel like a good transition for you guys? A good segue there?
I was gonna say like I saw the cogs moving. I'm like, oh, we're
was
going.
like, this one's going to be a bit of a reach. I don't know.
Rev it up.
Yeah. We're going to be talking about, on this episode,
The last movie we also got
the
to
last
see
movie
together.
that we got to see all together was Ready or Not 2.
Here I come.
Here.
I was like, we're not gonna do it. It was such a perfect subtitle for a sequel.
It's the little tiny thing underneath.
Here I.
So I think we're all like big fans of this. I know some
Yeah.
folks felt like it didn't match the original, like the heights of it. I disagree.
I disagree
disagree.
wholeheartedly. This is, and it again, with picking up with where the first movie left off, immediately. I was floored, and they wasted no time getting you into the next movement, and it was.
But it wasn't like a rush
Mwah.
either. It was like a really smooth,
Yes.
opening credits sequence.
Really cool
Took advantage
fixed
of-
cam, like the cinematography and its fantastic special effects is incredible. Soundtrack was delicious. I loved it. And god damn it, our leading ladies were just
would have thought?
fucking perfect.
Even if you didn't like the movie, the premise, the whatever, you cannot deny their chemistry. Though Catherine
They're
Newton
fucking sisters. They are sisters.
and Samara Weaving are just like so good together. Like
Yeah.
we love them individually, and I want to see like 10 more of these.
If you're one of those sticklers that's sitting there going like, oh, well, they don't even look the same. It's like, dude, look at them bicker through this movie.
It's actually
They are biological. It's crazy.
this cast is like out of this world. So if you're not familiar, like
my
really,
God.
I feel like you don't even have to describe much about the premise. Like if you just watch the trailer, like
You
you're
get it.
set.
Yeah.
and it's just
And that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
This is a trailer that I'll sign off on because I watched the movie and then I watched the trailer and it's good.
Yeah.
You're good. You're good.
and like that, and that's the thing. Like it's exactly what you want it to be, and
And also it's on the cover. It's right on the cover. You know what you're getting. It's Ready or Not to.
Not
If you
that
saw the
is-
first one, you're gonna get the second.
not that it's predictable. I didn't find it.
Oh no. It was we took
I just mean it makes sense.
the formula for one and we upped the ante.
I think it
Double or
matches.
nothing.
I'm just
Yeah.
acknowledging that a lot of folks were not necessarily as warm to it as I am. However, it's hard to argue with this cast. Not only do you have Samara Weaving and Catherine Newton, but our boy Elijah Wood, Sarah Michelle Gellar for crying out
Sarah
loud,
Michelle
R.I.P. the Buffy revival.
We're still mad about that.
Sean, I don't know how to say his last name. Hattasey. Sean Hattasey is the brother to the Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yes,
character.
yeah.
I know that guy just from like an episode of 6 Feet Under, but like I love him as an actor. But you also have cameos from David Cronenberg.
Yes.
like
the like, and I saw an interview actually with the directors, because there was two for this one.
Yes, it is the Radio Silence team, right?
Yes.
Yep. Same party
Somebody
crew.
asked them like, what was it like trying to direct David Cronenberg on set? Like, were you shitting your pants the whole time? And they were like, actually, no. Like, David was just like, he kind of showed up, and it was like he got into the movie because of somebody knew somebody.
Same
and he
David
lived-
Cronenberg of Jason X.
Yeah.
So you know he's got a sense of humor.
Well, and he was local, so he was like, yeah, I'll come down and I'll be in it. So like he just showed up to set and was like, "What am I doing? Okay, cool."
Nonchalant.
And then just they were like, "David, if we could just do this, that, and the other," and he's like, "Okay. Do you want to do more? We can do more." And it's like that is so cool that he was just like so fucking game for it. I loved it.
Kevin Durand also has
Kevin
a cameo,
Durand, yep.
essentially, who you
Jesus.
might know from Abigail, another Radio Silence project, and then
God, yeah, he's been in tons of stuff. And then there's Eyelash Guy.
Eyelash Guy. Shoot, who I always mess up his name.
I'm so mad.
I don't know his name.
Well, I'm Nestor Carbonell.
Nestor, yeah.
Who's an awesome character actor, but I was just going to shout out my last cast member of Varun Saranga, the younger of the Indian brothers.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
He was hilarious. He was so
so fucking funny.
good. Very good.
Oh my god. There's a scene of him eating ice cream, and this is just the goofiest fucking thing.
God bless you for pointing that detail out. The last thing I need to point out about this is two things. Catherine Newton with a katana
Kill Bill reference.
and Samara Weaving in the costume design that she is in the final act. That's all I'm going to say. Just
Oh.
Yeah.
those
That
two
one-
things alone.
That final act costume choice really like struck a nerve for me, like on a personal level. I lived it, is what I'm saying, and it was incredible. The only thing,
You should
only thing
specify.
yeah.
You should maybe explain that you did not marry Samara Weaving
No.
in a Satanist underground
The
camp.
only thing
Samara
missing-
Weaver watching Midnight Mass
Yeah.
every night.
The only thing missing was the goat. No,
that's
Samara
really good.
Weaving's outfit in the end of in the final segment of this movie very closely resembled a similar outfit that my lovely wife wore to our wedding. And I was floored when I saw it then. I was floored when I saw it now. It strikes a chord. I love a woman in a crown.
I was going to
That's
say
it.
specifically the crown is very cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
the crown is very cool. But yeah, there's like that beautiful little Catherine Newton gets the fucking katana. She takes her jacket off. She's wearing like a tank top. They're
It's
both
like
covered in
jeans,
blood.
like, it just feels very Volume 2 coded.
Yeah, jeans, tennis shoes, tank top, katana, while then like right next to her
Ponytail,
sister,
like, just-
who's holding a fucking gun and is wearing a like her bloody wedding dress from the first movie. And I'm like, dude, Volume 1, Volume 2, right there.
Also, if folks have seen the, I think, underappreciated in my opinion, movie from 2023 called Polite Society, it was an action comedy following two sisters in India, one of whom is getting an arranged marriage, and the younger of the two finds out that like there's nefarious purposes behind like the family that her sister's marrying into, and she has to rescue her with martial arts, and she's like an aspiring stunt woman, and it's just like a very charming, really cute, dope action flick that is just like a lot of fun. But this is like the first thing
We'll
that
be
I think has
referencing
matched.
that later, actually.
Just again with sisters being awesome, having great chemistry, being
Yes.
hilarious and awesome and kicking butt. Like I had to make that comparison.
It was fire. It was fire.
What else is? What did you say?
So, if you guys are cool to move on,
Sure. Yeah.
we can go into our solos now.
Okay. Well,
do you wanna
before
go
we
chronologically?
Well, wait.
Yeah.
Before we solo, I think it would make the most sense if we could discuss what we saw recently. Just
Yes,
because
'cause you guys have a duo
Yeah.
movie.
That's
that
kind of
cool?
what I
We'll
did.
be good.
It was like it was a duo, not a group.
I just wanted specifically to follow up the Ready or Not 2 conversation with our conversation quickly, because only Glenn and I saw it.
By all means.
But the-
Go ahead, Joe. You got it this time.
Well,
I'm on
I'll just set it up. No.
dramaturge
The Zazie Beetz starring "They Will Kill You."
He got it right this time.
I've been screwing up the title.
He was
for
like,
months.
"Do you want to go see You Are Dead?
I'm gonna die. Shit.
You Are Dead."
You're murder too. Shit. No.
I'm gonna say it right up top. Not Ready or Not. It is not Ready or Not 2. It is not the same fucking movie. They are so different.
And I was afraid of that.
There was overlaps, but
So they both involve families that make like deals with the devil, but that's pretty much where it ends.
yeah, that's about it.
This movie, I wanted to kind of like ask you and talk to you. So like, okay, before discussing and answering questions,
This is fucking so good. This movie I had no expectation going into it. It was so fun.
I'll very briefly describe the premise. But
That was a
before
weird noise.
before I do, I understand like it's first and foremost. I think like speaking of Kill Bill, it's like almost a samurai 70s exploitation homage.
Yeah, this was like a fucking this was
Almost.
This was a kung fu movie in a mosh pit.
So like
It
you
was
hear
awesome.
the same like Shaw Brothers sound effects. Like they get into very like old school Hong Kong type martial arts sound effects. Like there's a lot of cues that are like making sure you're prompted to.
Like when somebody loads a gun, you feel it in your chest. Like, it's like, oh fuck yeah, let's go.
Well, so I also it made me think of, okay, so if you saw another 2023 movie that I think also might have been from India or possibly Bangladesh, but the movie's just called Kill. Dope action movie. It's
Good title.
so awesome. Well, not for nothing. There is a samurai movie called Kill with an exclamation point from the 60s. That's very cool.
No, it's kill.
Kill?
Indian Hindi.
Tony. But no, Kill is a really cool movie that I think the John Wick folks are going to remake for like English audiences. So just giving you an idea of like, oh, that's how level it is. But this movie, They Will Kill You, I think is very much in the vein of like John Wick action. Like it also reminds me of like The Raid Redemption. Like it is that level for like a good few sequences at the very least.
Yeah.
However, the question I kind of wanted to ask you was like, do you consider it more horror or action? And before you answer, like that aside, the literal premise is Zazie Beetz plays a woman just looking for her long lost family member in a hostile environment. Boom. That's it. That's all I really need to
Hard
say.
stop.
But so in addition to like, you know, you think of Kill Bill because of like family connection, women being awesome and kicking butt, rescuing folks. You think of, what did I just say? Oh, The Raid. John Wick. Kill. Like all these action movies and stuff. But then like... it's so bloody. Like it's
oh my god, yeah. It's got like a Dead Alive like level of gore. Like
there's also
dude.
Without spoiling anything, it also references Lord of the Flies.
Yes.
So like there are horrific elements, but it's like through an action lens.
There was cheering. There's cheering in the fucking theater when shit went down. It was
I feel like we kicked it off.
Yeah. It was.
It kind of gave everyone permission,
including us. I think it was max 6 people in this theater when we went.
Was that low?
Yeah.
I thought there were okay.
Yeah, there was like 6 people, including us.
I wish I knew. I would have
it was like
boisterous.
No, shit was just like whoa, yeah.
Well, no, it's also hilarious.
It's
like,
so funny.
The first time I think they were like the audience kind of like collectively let themselves like, oh, okay, we're gonna be like a little bit loud. Was what I think after we laughed out loud at some dumb thing.
Oh my god, yeah.
She might have flicked her lighter and like there's a imprint on the lighter of like a samurai doing a cool thing, and I was just like, ah,
cool lighter.
No, I saw that it was a samurai thing. I was like, they're doing this on purpose.
Yeah. No, it was like one part kung fu, one part horror, one part action. Like I leaned over to Joe at one point and I was like, dude, this looks and feels like if like the people that did John Wick met up with Wes Anderson to film it and then threw like Peter Jackson's writing on top of it. It was just so weird, and it was so fun. It was
That's really exciting.
Fun.
I love that.
There's also a fuck pit.
I
just needed to talk about that.
One last comp. If anyone's seen Hotel Artemis, another really cool action movie, dark noir that takes place in a like hotel type building, very similar. So
and also like the very clear tie in with like what is it the Bruce Lee movie. What is it? The Seven Dragons or something like that, or yellow jumpsuit.
So that's that's actually Game of Death, which is ironic because
which one had the tower?
That's Game of Death.
Game of Death. Okay, very very close ties to Game of Death, where it was like, oh yeah, you're gonna move your way up the levels type of thing. That was fucking cool.
That's ironic because like, oh, that's the famous one, and that's the yellow outfit. That's also the one that he was not fully in. Because it was posthumous or whatever. That's the last one I haven't seen yet, so I'm really excited.
That one's fucking incredible. There's some scenes in that are so fun. There's a very famous anime that is made because of that movie specifically.
Not both of us going like...
Wait. You're saying because of, Game of Death, they made...
There's a bit part in that became an anime.
Which one?
Afro Samurai.
Oh, that's so funny because I was going to say, They Will Kill You also reminded me very much of Afro Samurai.
Bam!
That's bonkers.
Zazie Beetz is
She's so
tough
good.
And so cool. Like, I half expected her to light a blunt and choke down a lemonade, because that's what Afro Samurai does. And, like, man, like, her hair is just blowing in the wind, and she's just standing there, like, all silhouetted, and I just, like, ugh!
And
Loved
also,
it.
like, I really, it wasn't lost on me the fact that, like, we had this, like...
If she had Sam Jackson's voice, I wouldn't have minded. No, go on.
Well, it's like we had this main character of Zazie Beetz just going around beating the shit out of, like, these upper class, upper tier white folk. But and it was like, it's not lost on me what you guys are doing here, and I love it.
Okay, wait. That is the one thing that I was not super pumped on. So, love the cast of this for the most part. Heather Graham, doing great work.
She looks fucking great
Amazing.
in this movie.
Patricia Arquette also looking fantastic, being beautiful. We love her.
Wasn't sold in her accent, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. But that was funny in itself. But no, also, unfortunately, J.K. Rowling defender Tom Felton is in this movie. And he does fine. Like, he doesn't ruin it. But, like,
Does he have
he
a
just
big
ruins
step?
everything by existing and defending turfs.
He's
so.
there, yeah.
But no, that was it. The only other thing I wanted to say is actually about Ready or Not, because you said that, like, you know, being able to kind of like crack wise a little bit during quiet moments are some of your favorite things. One of my favorite memories is when during Ready or Not 2, you leaned over to me and said, "Hey, what if Samara Weaving and Sarah Michelle Gellar got married instead?" To which I replied, "Yeah, but then I would explode." It was very
Jesus Christ.
I do remember that.
I just thought that was very fun. So now you all get to bear witness to that.
The other thing that was not lost on me with They Will Kill You is there is a really cool, and this is teetering. It's not spoiling anything, but it is like kind of setting precedent for what like the movie Error kind of feels like. There is a couple scenes in which it feels very like Paradise Lost, like Dante Inferno. Reminiscent.
Sure.
Like there's some things to it. Like the hotel is 9 floors.
I don't know.
And that was not lost on me. I fucking
that was lost on me.
as soon as I heard that the hotel was called the Virgil, and they did a pan up a pan up and a pan down of the outside of it, and it was like I counted floors.
I should have caught that.
And
That's
there was
sick.
fucking 9 floors, and I'm like,
Oh, what did
yes.
Okay, so a lot of people were like, "Oh, that finale was over the top, too much CGI. I didn't like it."
I didn't care.
Yeah, I was into it.
Yeah, the only CGI
it wasn't AI. So
there was
True.
the only CGI was one aspect, and then
how else were you gonna really?
you couldn't do that
whatever.
otherwise.
Yeah. So anyway, 4.5 stars.
Yeah.
Probably
Mad
like
props
3.5,
to
but-
Patricia Arquette to be able to move like that.
No spoilers.
God.
No spoilers.
But right on.
I think you were going to love it. You were gonna have so much fun.
How do you feel about action movies? Because I don't know. Because I know like you're still like getting into not still getting into, but like horror was a more recent kind of love
Like
for you.
a deeper dive.
Do you have much love and affection for like John Wick things or Bruce Lee things or anything else?
I mean, I'm not opposed to them. They're not like the top thing on my like, I gotta see list.
Do you do Mission Impossibles?
No.
Did you
I
do
was
Bullet
curious.
Train?
Ooh, that was
Bullet
a fun
Train
one.
is much more my speed.
That's got a lot of tongue in
Yes.
cheek humor to
and
it as
Zazie
well.
Beetz.
Hey!
Hire us. But no, like that's more my
Fuck,
speed.
we're on one right now. Yeah, no, if you enjoyed like Bullet Train because it's like there was comedy, there was like gruesome killing, there was action, there was
This is up your alley.
Okay.
this is more gruesome killing.
Brilliant.
And it's a lot fun. It's a lot of fun.
Brilliant.
Yeah. This is a good one. I don't know if he's gonna love it. There's a lot of blood.
I mean, like, if it's just not like, well, visceral gore.
We've just cornered the market for a minute. Claudio, do you want to tell us about what you got to see that Glenn and I did not, which was the much anticipated.
Take a breath if you need it.
Okay.
But also, and just as we were giving credit to Kane Parsons, who I think we might have even forgot to mention his name, but I wanted to mention in discussing a little bit of our excitement over Backrooms and just talking about like the new trend of like kind of creepypasta internet adapted stories.
Video game horror movies coming to cinema.
Well, and not just video game, because I was specifically referring to what you were saying earlier.
The
Well,
creepypasta,
Kane Parsons in
yeah.
particular, you were saying how like, oh, these like kind of YouTubers kind of coming up, and like
If you want to talk about YouTubers, the Philippou brothers.
I was just gonna say.
And so on and so forth. It's so funny. Oh my God, can I pull it up quick enough? Because I actually took a picture of someone who did like a comparison of all the YouTube people who like, just popped off.
So that's interesting. But I was
Yeah,
going to say that
Rob-
Kane Parsons, I think, was getting a lot of flack for being so young and for going from YouTube to A24, and how dare he? And I just kind of want to say, like, how dare you? Like, you hating on someone for being successful when they're young? Are you hating on someone for being successful? Like, take that elsewhere.
Or
Come
like,
on.
are you
I'm
hating
so
on
proud of this
A24 for
King
taking a
Parsons
chance
kid.
on somebody brand new?
As we were saying earlier. So,
I mean, like, yeah.
I just wanted to mention that
Yeah.
because Kane Parsons. I think good on you, man. Like, whatever.
Which is really interesting because I feel like that's the back and forth for like A24 and Neon, who like they have a wild array of movies, not just horror based, but like A24 has The Backrooms coming up. Neon has Exit 8 coming
I'm
up.
kind of hoping that with this chance though that they kind of bring it back around because like A24 for me has been slipping a bit recently.
Oh no, for sure. I mean, Opus
Neon
was
has definitely
Opus.
taken.
Death of a Unicorn was Death of a Unicorn.
Well, without remitigating A24,
yeah, but like
you got to
fast
see.
forwarding
You got to see.
now this
You got to
indie
see.
horror. Fantastic. I mean, like, I'm going to burn at the stake because it's very polarizing, and I'll get into it. But
We're talking
Iron
about
Lung
Iron Lung.
came out January 30th. Sci-fi horror based on the video game. Directed, produced, written, edited
Starring.
by starring Mark Fishbach, or as many people know him, Markiplier. This was just
Action man.
this was just an act of love. This man played the game, said, "I really like this and I want to make it." Talked to the creator and just ran with it. Now,
This was so DIY boots on the ground that I have to give it so many flowers just for what it is.
absolutely.
What it is, by the way, is a 125-minute video game adaptation, so solid 2 hours. It's got like a 3.2 on Letterboxd. That's
actually pretty
high
alright.
praise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
For the little movie that could.
and it really feels like it's something that was like chugging along and has been like slowly, gradually getting more, eyes on it and good positive feedback.
And like, when we talk about those movies where it's like, in all honesty, I don't think it's the all type of movies because of exactly how you said it before. Like, it's this new wave of movie where it's like the creepypasta, it's like the movie thing, and it's like I forget your exact phrasing on it, but it's
the standard arc does not apply to how
That.
And it's like this is
Oh,
this
so
is
you guys
new.
think? Wait, do you think that's true?
No, well, I mean, in some cases,
in
especially
this
like
movie-
Undertone, where it's like the arc doesn't, it has an incomplete arc, or it has a different formula to it that it's new math that we're not ready for yet.
yeah.
Oh, I don't necessarily agree with that, but
Like
That's fine.
no, and that's I was making sure I understood. That's all.
this movie is
I won't defend math.
I can't read, I can't do math, but with this movie,
Fucking drawing people for a living, man.
I was about to say I tell kids because whatever.
I do the math for a living. Actually,
I tell kids, I'm like, I don't teach number arts, do I? Keep that out there. Sorry, go on.
this movie
Letters only.
sits beautifully for me because it is textbook slow burn. The
You
premise
were reeling after seeing this.
You were very excited.
it was so interesting to see because as someone who hasn't played the game, who's watched playthroughs of the game, so just so I could have an idea of what I'm getting myself into, it's nice and interesting to see, what he decided to keep, not as a one-to-one, but just like, this was a visceral moment for me. I want it to be a visceral moment to the viewer.
I love adaptations for that reason because you get to see, okay, what choices did they make?
Yeah. So like for this, like for the game, you're in the submarine. The Iron Lung is what it's called. It's shut. All you have is a camera and exploration. That's it. And what eldritch horrors you capture. And like sometimes you'll be stationary, you take a picture, and you see something not here, but just far enough that you can see it. And then the next picture, it's gone.
Are you meant to do anything with this like menagerie you collect, or
It's just you have a
just
mission
there.
to find something that is okay. Push back further. There was a great reaping of sorts where civilization is now non-existent.
So I
Except
was gonna
for
say,
these,
like, because is this a submarine just in the ocean, or okay? That's why I was.
So yeah, civilizations exist on these moons that go to try to. That's all that's left. The ones that got out of this harrowing experience.
Okay. So you're saying the mythology of this game
Yeah.
and movie is that there was some sort of post-apocalyptic situation where we had to leave Earth. And
There was,
so now
there was
we're
a
on
rapture,
planets, moons.
and yeah,
Okay.
and these are the colonies that are left.
Okay.
Now,
So we're in space.
Yeah, so we are investigating this moon, but this moon is an ocean. This moon is not just an ocean. It is of human blood.
Yeah, the entire surface
Okay,
of this
so the
planet
moon
is...
is not solid. It is a blood planet.
Well, the entire surface of this planet is just an endless
Well, so-
ocean.
yeah.
Like we
okay,
could
that's
call
what
it,
I'm
like,
saying.
yeah, like if we were to go into like the ocean, there's the caverns.
But it's
Now
a
just
blood ocean, so it's a blood ocean planet.
Yeah.
Just so fucking metal.
And just like
Fucking heavy metal, yeah.
it's
oh,
dope.
it's gross. It is full of blood.
I thought it was a fire thing from all the. I thought it was all fire stuff from the like promotional things I saw.
That's all blood.
interesting.
Yeah, that's all
But yeah,
blood,
but-
baby.
In the movie, he's a convict. He is, convict. Hey, here's your chance at freedom. Do this job for us and you're going to be, good to go.
Cool.
And then like,
Classic setup. I feel like we see that a lot. Like, all right, this is your last chance for.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Escape from New York.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, okay, well, was he not a prisoner?
No, he was.
He was, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I'm sorry. Go on.
but yeah, so then
New
they're
York
like,
was a prison. Yeah.
so he's doing this like, cataloging of the caverns and the systems and like, trying to find stuff because like this isn't, he's not the first person to go down there. Find the remnants of what was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So as it devolves,
That's very much like Annihilation for those who are fans of the Jeff Van Vandermeer book series / the Alex Garland movie.
and very much like, well, not very much like, but still, the further
Previous
you go,
crew
yeah,
type.
the further you go down, the less sanity you have because you're isolated. It is just you and a speaker of who's up there.
Is there anyone else? Like, is this a one-person show kind of?
So anyone that you physically see is through a camera at the beginning of the movie setting him up to go down.
That was one criticism I did read a lot. It was like, look, if you're not like on board for watching him act by himself against a green screen for 2 hours,
It is just him.
So
Yeah.
So like,
kind of a double-edged sword or whatever.
Oh,
Which,
for sure.
that
There's
is so brave to do for your first fucking film.
2 hours
Of
of
2
it
hours of
you.
just acting.
Even if it doesn't work, like with Undertone, in my opinion, like I still appreciate the swing. Like I appreciate
For
the
sure.
ambition.
And if to keep it the adaptation not respectful, that's not the word I want to think
Like
of.
integrity,
But,
like
yeah, to its original source. I commend that highly, excuse me.
Yeah.
Like, if you've played the game, if you've seen pictures of the game, about like, the giant thing with like these
Tentacles?
It just fangs,
Wait, you're-
like teeth.
Yeah, fangs,
It's
like
just like
big
all you see
megalodon
is
type
which we
mouth.
see on the poster.
Yeah.
yeah, and like it's nice to have those references that have some severity to the case of like, oh, this is like a new monster. Like, no, we're in the game.
So okay, that's an awesome like setup, premise, got it, love it. That sounds like Act 1. Is the rest of the movie not like Moby Dick in blood space?
So,
We're like, you don't have to spoil
No,
anything.
no,
but does it
without
not become
spo-
like
without
single
spoiling
man
it,
hunting a creature? Like,
it
is
becomes
not-
more and more dire that he's telling the speaker, who is his only, like, physically, he sees no one.
It's not horror, but we did see Project Hail Mary, which is also a lone man in space, cataloging.
He is like,
recording
speaking into
for
the
prosperity.
void at some point, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And so it becomes more dire how
Go see Project Hail Mary.
he needs to find this information and like, but it's ambiguous to what it is. We know it is important, and that's all he's given. So then he starts. It's the rebellion. It's like, why is this so important? Why are you keeping me out of the loop? I'm doing all the work.
Okay,
and
so there's like a mystery element. It's not just like a hunt for a thing.
yeah, you're not told what the thing is. Just like, hey,
Interesting.
this ship has some stuff. Go get it. And
So
then,
do you think it? I mean, I know Glenn already said like you were pretty elated afterwards, but like, do you think it hit what it was?
it
aiming
hit the
for?
buttons that I wanted it to hit.
Do you think it hit what it wanted to hit?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And at the end of the day,
That's how I judge
as
something,
yeah,
so.
as a movie watcher, it's important to also see their side of it. The director, did they invoke what they wanted out of
That's
the
how I
experience?
eventually had
from
to
the
decide.
press,
Like, okay,
he
this is
seemed like
what.
he was stoked.
For sure.
Yeah.
This is what success has to be, because it can't be what I want. I'm not the director. It can't be what the studio wanted. It's not about money. It can't be what necessarily even the fans or the masses want, because when you're an artist, who are you creating for? Yourself. So like, as long as you hit what you're trying to hit, fuck everyone else. And
Yeah.
like, that's I think the only way you can judge
The monetary
of a
success
thing.
is cool. That's an icing on the cake. But like, can you go to bed happy with what you presented to the masses? And I think he did a very good job with it. This is such a slow burn because of how isolated it is. It is him just for 2 hours going through, the submarine. Quite literally, you have enough walk space and you have a crawl space, and that's it. That's the dimensions of this
Yeah, I heard
submarine.
claustrophobia is a very big aspect of this.
Could be a deal breaker for some folks.
Yeah.
For sure. And like they play with that, being by yourself for so long, how much how long can you go without, physical communication, without, in a submarine, you have limited oxygen. How long will it go until you start, everything's disorienting?
Look, we all love the Hunt for Red October.
Yeah.
We're already sold. It's
Like, do you know when like writing had started for this, or when like the idea had come out, or like when the game came out? I'm trying to I have a thought, and I want to know if the timelines meet up.
So the game officially came out on Windows March 10th, 2022.
2022. Okay.
Yes.
So I can kind of see this sort of almost being somewhat of an allegory, or we're playing with the idea of isolation and things like that, where it's like
post-COVID.
Post-COVID. It's like we're kind of not praying, but like we're moving through this real life horror that people had actually already faced, and kind of using that to kind of set the tone for, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a pretty cool thing.
Do you think Mark Fishback's getting another shot?
If it's something that really called to him, because he had such a very positive reaction when playing the game. I mean, obviously enough that
But
he
I mean,
wanted
like,
to.
do you think folks
He would
will
want-
do you think folks will give him another shot? Is
Oh,
what I mean.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because again,
Not audiences. I mean, like, producers, whatever.
I mean,
assholes,
I feel it'd be silly if they didn't, because
Cool.
the way, like, talking like metrics now, the movie costs approximately
That was gonna be another question.
$4 million.
And it's
Box
made-
office 52.
So okay.
So
It did all right.
So he'll do.
It
he'll do
did
fine.
all right.
all
Good on
right.
him. Good on him.
the kids are all right with knowing what they want, and I'm happy he was at the helm of his own ship, because he had to
Don't
say
downplay it. That was a good
Oh,
one.
that's to say, well done.
God damn it.
it feels like so liberating to be able to create and be the boss of your creation and have the eyes of your creation and have all these like cool people like a part of it. Like, fun fact, we talked about him in Midnight Mass. Raul Coley what's the word, lends himself into the movie either via like voice transmission, or maybe I missed him in like
As like voice acting, or
Yeah.
he has like some sort of credit with being in it. That's cool.
So I'm like, it's really cool. Like you have these like what's the word, established people in the biz also just contributing, because like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, because Raul Coley's a fucking nerd.
Yeah.
He loves that shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's cool to
Oh, yeah.
have.
His TikTok is fucking hilarious.
Oh, absolutely.
But like, it's not to say too that like fucking Markiplier's massive on YouTube. He's massive on streaming. He's massive on Twitch. And it's like, this is like, he may not be like a Hollywood elite, but he is
Of the
well
new-
known.
And of as to your credit, of like a new kind of class of content creator, which I hope we find a new term of endearment.
Which he's been at this for a while.
That's
now.
kind of what I was asking when I meant,
He's
like, do you think
very
he'll
well
get another
established.
shot? Because I forgot about his whole, like, YouTube clout. I was wondering, I guess, if that's almost like a double-edged sword in the fact that it's like, okay, man, you're, like, kind of a big deal. If you fuck this up, then you're done forever when it comes to Hollywood or whatever. Versus...
Like, stick to
versus,
YouTube.
No,
versus-
just... Or, like, if it didn't do well, versus if it is received as, or perceived as doing well, then it's like, oh, hey, then now you're, like, the shining poster child for that pipeline.
Which
For sure.
I have been seeing in recent cinema and like indie productions and stuff of like people making the jump from being like YouTubers, streamers, not even just YouTubers, like into directors, because that's well established.
Well, and didn't
We've
also
seen
Radio
it.
Silence kind of come from?
Kind
or
of.
am I not... Okay.
I think so, yeah. But then it's like also like web series. Like you got all those people. Like one of the names that jumps into my mind that's like currently on the rise and making themselves a bigger and bigger name is Brendan Lee Mulligan. Like a ton of people know who Brendan Lee Mulligan is, but it's like
Yeah.
he started
Conrad.
out. He fucking started out in College Humor, and it's like that's insane. So it's like you're getting this, but then you're also getting people from TikTok that are moving into like movies and acting now.
Sugar and Spice.
Well, I was actually gonna mention. I think it's The House on Eden was a movie that just came out recently. That has like two very big like TikTokers in it. I am not particularly interested because it's not really my like.
I never heard of
my brand of
But no,
TikTok.
you are
but,
correct.
Yeah.
It feels like that new wave of yes, let
we're,
people.
We're beginning to blur the lines of like where like we're looking at like popular is just popular. And they're like, well, if we could put them in a movie, we could put them in a movie. We could put them in a TV show. We could put them in a TV show. And I think that's a very interesting but slippery slope.
That's what I'm saying. I'm way, I think, more skeptical because I'm like, it just reeks of like money people feeling like they know how to
tweak the market.
This is
and
what-
mess with other people's expertise.
This is what the kids are into.
This feels like not
The
for
divas
nothing.
are up.
This feels like politicians try to tell educators how to teach a classroom, and it's like, hey man, you don't know what you're talking about. This
sure.
is like politicians telling women what to do with their bodies, and it's like, hey man, you're not a doctor. Like this is RFK trying to tell us how to be healthy, and it's like, bro, you don't know the first thing. Like
Get the brainworm checked.
so like again,
loser.
whenever I hear about people getting excited about the new technologies and the new platforms, like it just feels like a bunch of AI bros. And I just I'm so skeptical of anyone being like, "Oh, I got the best TikToker for your new whatever." But I'm like,
you know what doesn't though is when you start coming around to people that have been around and been in the thing and handing them over the keys of the kingdom. People who have been in the trenches, done the acting, done the dirty work, and then finally are given the chance to write and direct something. I want to talk about Maggie Gyllenhaal.
I was just gonna say, speaking of auteurs making their mark, finally we have.
Yeah. So I got the chance to see Bride. The motherfucking Bride. Dude, this was
Bride, but there is an exclamation point.
This was so cool. This was so cool, and I know this is going to be a divisive one. I've already seen hit or miss like reviews on it. I got to see it as a preview like well before the date came out, which was really fucking cool.
Okay, VIP.
Yeah. I was a +1. It was cool. But like it was really hard sitting in that theater surrounded by other like movie podcasters and movie reviewers and people that writes the like articles online and stuff and like listening to like not for nothing, and this is a blanket statement. I'm not obviously talking about anybody in particular, and I don't want to like bash all of our other friends out there in the world that like to talk about movies too. But there was a handful of conversations that I had heard going around the room from just men being like, "Oh, this is just so about women," and I'm like, "Yeah, please tell me how much you know about the female experience and why you're valid enough to talk about that." It was just frustrating. This is one of those movies that it's absolutely fine to sit down and just immerse yourself in the world. Don't try to think about the world or try to look for plot holes or anything. Like you're probably gonna find some. It's probably gonna be like, it's a little on the nose of what they're trying to say here, but like at the end of the day, Maggie Gyllenhaal made a really cool surrealist film in the world where Frankenstein exists and he's a real person. It was fucking cool.
So I've kind of struggled to like wrap my head around the premise details as well. Like I'm not against it at all. Like I'm very curious. I'm like on board to check it out. I still haven't seen it. So what I was
Frank
able to glean
exists,
from the
yeah.
trailers, is it like 1930s set or is it not even okay?
It is like 1930s, like flapper era, like Chicagoland type of thing. Like the gangs exist on the streets, like the mobsters and stuff, but it's like...
But that being said, literally Dr. Frankenstein, his monster, and then the bride are all...
No, Dr. Frankenstein is not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is a different
And I don't want spoilers,
doctor.
but
Yeah,
okay, I
this
was
is a
curious.
different doctor. And
Okay,
essentially,
okay.
it follows the same sort of thing where it's like
See, that's what I'm saying. I didn't
Frankenstein comes to this doctor and is like, hey, I am forced to live an eternal life, and the thing that is killing me is the loneliness.
It's the same principles.
So I want a bride, and it's like they try to find a bride, and then they find somebody, and then they try to do this thing. The really kind of cool thing that they open with, and it was like, this is not spoiler territory at all. It is just the way that they introduce this character and frame the rest of the whole movie is that like this is somehow also taking place inside of Mary Shelley's brain. Or like her spirit is alive in the afterlife, and
Is
Mary
this a spoiler,
Shelley.
or is this part of the?
No, this is like first like minute of the movie. Mary Shelley jumps into the consciousness of Jessie Buckley, And Jessie Buckley constantly slips in and out of being her character or speaking as Mary Shelley. And it's her acting in this is so fucking crazy. And it's part of the surrealism.
That sounds
aspect
like
of it.
Stranger Than Fiction. Is that the Will Ferrell movie where he realizes he's a character in a short story and then he like meets the author? Which is in itself a very sets characters in search of
in
an
a
author.
way, but not really. Like
yeah,
it's
okay,
this is a surrealist take on the Bride of Frankenstein meets like Bonnie and Clyde with the message of like fuck men, like we hate them, and it has some very loud shout outs to the Me Too movement. I was with it. I truly enjoyed this movie. I thought it was so fucking cool. It aesthetically was beautiful. Soundtrack was so cool because it existed in a time outside of its own self. Like there was like they went to a fucking rave at one point, for Christ's sake, and it was so cool. The 1930s rave. It was so cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. No, it was fun. I don't want to like.
Jury's still out. I'm still gonna watch it.
I can't get too far into it without like getting into spoiler territory. It's definitely worth checking out. I liked it.
Not putting anyone on blast, but the person you saw it with, I don't think was quite as enthusiastic, and so I'm always like,
She was not. No,
I'm keeping her.
She doesn't like art house though. Anything that she deems art house.
Just keeping. I'm gonna keep that in mind when I watch this because I am so curious now. But
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
But you also saw a very female-fronted.
True, very true. Nice segue. Yes, because the solo
Dude,
movie
I'm like fucking trying.
You really
these
are.
now.
The solo movie or rather the movie I checked out that my boo boys did not join me on was something that I just watched at home, streaming on Shudder. It is Mother of Flies, which is the movie I was alluding to earlier when I said it was a project by the Addams Family. Again, 1D, not 2Ds.
Damn it.
But John Adams, Zelda Adams. And I'm trying to get everything in front of me.
Toby
Poser, and also Lulu Adams, among others. But those are the core four of the Addams Family. And for those unfamiliar, it is a mother, father, and two daughters who are now, I think, probably both early 20s at this point. But I think since they were 7 and 9, or the girls were very young.
They were very prominent in their original saga, I would say.
Well, so the movies themselves are not narratively connected, but this family of four has been for many years now, just making movies. It's just so cool. They're just an indie movie production team. The parents are typically the directors and writers and producers and editors, but also their daughters have now been not only acting but also contributing to writing and I believe directing as well. And so it's just so cool because you're not only being creative, being original, but you're teaching, you're showing the next generation how it's done. And I just think that's lovely and beautiful and fantastic.
That's such a high praise level of love to basically just pass on what your knowledge is, but also let them be able to create on their own as well.
And not and you're coming from a faux academic myself, not in a classroom, not in a sterile setting. We're doing it, getting our hands dirty.
This is live training.
And it's just it's I don't know, that's just so cool and unique and fantastic. But all that's even more awesome because they make good movies. I haven't seen them all, but the two that I have seen are Hellbender, which I believe came out in
21,
I was going to say.
About salamanders.
Well, Hellbender is super cool because not only is it this team of this family and, they're doing it, but Hellbender is a movie about two witches, a mother and a daughter. And it's a very sort of unique situation in that, the mother is trying to, contain the daughter. You get the sense that the mother is, an sort of veteran of witchcraft. She's dipped her toes in the dark and the light and she knows better and she's got that experience. Mm-hmm. Whereas her daughter, who is way more powerful, doesn't have that wisdom, is way more impulsive, eager to get out in the world. And so there's a lot of really cool tension. And on top of that being Hellbender is also the name of the doom metal rock band that the daughter and mother are and perform as in the movie, which I just think is super cool.
I love that.
It's dope. And so they also happen to do some songs for this movie Mother of Flies, which is the movie that I saw that came out this year, which is kind of a spiritual sequel because it also follows Toby Poser as a witch. But this time, instead of trying to like sort of contain her powerful daughter, Zelda Adams is playing a young woman who I believe is like, diagnosed with a terminal illness, and her father has like begrudgingly agreed to go out into the middle of the woods with his daughter to meet this like mysterious witchy woman who like claims she can heal the dying daughter. Right, and so like that's the setup, that's the premise, and so it's still Toby and Zelda kind of like flirting with what witchcraft can be and do.
I love grounded folk horror like that, where it's like we're gonna actually dive into like what being a witch actually is, and not this fictionalized version of it.
And in Hellbender, it is really cool, really specific, really unique. Like you can tell they did research into various.
How was the music for it?
Witchcraft traditions, but
like
it also
you're dangling a death metal band in front of my eyes. It's like, was it good? Did they sound good? Did they show you?
I was just saying that like they did their research into the witchcraft. They expressed that very specifically, and the whole relationship between the mother and the daughter had a very like old generation, new generation thing. Mm-hmm. They were also really emphasizing, power from nature, power over nature, but from like fear and anger. And so me being me and being who I am, I was like, damn if these two witches aren't just part of the dark side. Like, give this chick a red lightsaber because she's doing all the things that Darksiders do, deriving power from fear and anger, using it to control living creatures.
But they were supposed to restore balance to the Force, not like...
and the young replacing the old. That's like a big thing in like certain traditions of the dark side. So whatever. It just like... I'm just being a Star Wars nerd, but I thought Hellbender's depiction of witchcraft was so well developed and unique that it made me think of not other folklore things, although it's very much a folklore story, as is Mother of Flies, and they pull it off beautifully. And I think that the very cool creative visuals that this family is known for was even upped even higher in Mother of Flies.
I've been so excited for checking out Mother of Flies, but then when you started telling me like off camera about like Hellbender, I was like, I think I'm gonna have to dive into all of this now.
I would say
like,
do Hellbender
really
first.
Good.
Do Hellbender first because Mother of Flies I feel like is like such a spiritual sequel. But soundtrack was not so in Hellbender it is like stoner doom metal and it's dope.
Fuck yeah!
And it's just like and just heavy and bass and like breakdowns. It's a little rudimentary, but the daughter is a drummer.
That's
and
fine.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey,
you're talking to the king of caveman riffs over here. If I'm not dragging my knuckles on the floor because it's 1 2 1 2, I love it.
you and our Irish friend are my musical godparents, so yes.
All that musical.
But no, in Mother of Flies, the music is way more like atmospheric, dreamy, a little bit like wider sound landscapes. Still like, the Hellbender doom stoner metal vibe, but in the like expanded soundscapes of it all. There's way more like, I don't know, just sort of patience and contemplation. It's a much more low-key thing. I think it's a better integration of the band.
Hell yeah.
But it's interesting enough.
No,
that said,
that one I was really mad that I didn't get a chance to watch it before recording. Like I was really looking forward to getting.
I mean, lucky for you, 3/4 of their of their series is on Shudder.
Yes.
The only one that isn't is Where the Devil Roams, and that's
when
that's on Tubi.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
So yeah, everything's accessible, baby.
Yeah, we love that.
And they have like 7, 8 features under their or just like all together like shorts and features. They've done a lot.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like they're not messing around. Like it is a very low budget kind of like you can tell like speaking of setting expectations like set them accordingly.
With what I've heard about Mother of Flies, I feel like this is going to be the last one for them of that. I feel like anything that's going to come up next is going to be like, boom, this is going to be fucking banger.
Oh, a little
this
bit
is going
more,
to, anything they work on next, it's like, it's not going to have that low budget feel.
I would love to see them like take a swing with a big budget. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
That said, I really love Toby. I'm sorry, is it Parker?
Poser.
I really love Toby Poser as an actress. I think she's like really powerful, like super committed. They're all very committed and all very talented.
No, I very much.
I think she's the strongest actor. I want to see Zelda the sort of I don't know which of the two daughters like younger or older, but I think only Zelda is like really in front of the camera for the most part. But I will say, I will hope that maybe John Adams is not performing as much in the
Okay.
future.
I'll be on the lookout.
But
for
a great guy, and,
Yeah.
and him and his daughter had really good snot work in some crying scenes.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So, no, but I really like that movie. I really love the family. All due
No,
respect.
that's super cool. I'm very much looking forward to getting into that. Like, there was also like a handful of movies that we just didn't get a chance to get around to see because like they got pulled from theaters early or like just timing and stuff. Like, so I still, if you're interested in seeing what our thoughts were on some of that, we'd done a post on Instagram already of a couple that we were looking out for, a couple we touched base on, a couple of them we didn't get to see. Like I know for myself, I didn't get to see Night Patrol and I did not get to see Cold Storage, but they're out there, they're coming. I'm gonna see them regardless.
Yeah.
Fucking actually, speaking of Night Patrol, shout out Colin Young who was in that movie. Shout out CM Punk. More so, Colin just recently lost his very good friend and co-host of the Hard Lore podcast, Bo Looters. So I just want to say shout out to Bo Looters. Our hearts go out to you, your family, your whole camp. Check in on your friends.
Yeah, as someone who did not know about this man, Bo Looters, who recently passed away, but he was very much like a huge fixture in the like contemporary punk post-hardcore metalcore scene, however you want to describe it.
Guitar player and vocalist for the band Harm's Way.
Which I had never heard of before, and like I felt like shame on me because they rock. They are awesome. I've been only listening through one of their albums more recently because I'm just kind of getting into
It was
them now.
Rust, right?
And it just slaps so hard. Like it's fantastic. But also, fellow podcasting folks, Hard Lore was
Hard Lore is incredible. If you are interested in punk and hardcore history, they do
stories from the road.
Yeah, they interview and talk to some of like the biggest names. Like they have an interview with Davey Havoc that stretches across 2 episodes. It's fucking incredible. So cool. Bo, you're gonna be missed.
Very much so.
988 crisis hotline. Check in on your friends. Sorry to end it on such a.
No, I
low
think
thing,
if
No.
anything
I'm glad
that
we
is
mentioned
fitting to what this whole entity that we have was based off of friendship, camaraderie, and the unconditional love we have for each other. So I feel like it's very important to every so often hone in on the thought, check in on your friends.
They'll appreciate it.
They're here for you as much as you are for them. They're your shoulder to lean on as you are to them. Take care of each other.
And worst case scenario, they don't need you, and you just said hi to a friend anyway. Like,
And then you get to hang out and watch a movie together.
Exactly. Speaking of, before we depart, I know we've been doing good work, watching new movies. Look at us, not resting on our laurels. However, we did, miss some things as mentioned. I just know that I just want to give a shout out to some things that maybe our listeners are interested in. We know we didn't talk about Send Help. We know we didn't talk about the new Sam Raimi horror movie starring Rachel McAdams. We know that because we just didn't see it yet, but we're very much looking forward to getting our eyes on that.
We missed our chance to see it in theaters, genuinely.
It has not been getting received well, but I was just curious about Psycho Killer. I'm still going to check it out at some
Piqued my
point.
interest for sure.
I'm real excited for Obsession. That is a fun trailer.
Oh yeah, Obsession. That's
And it's a fun premise. It immediately draws you in. Like, yeah, what if you could wish someone to fall in love with you? Why is that not possible? You're gonna find out. Like, that's just very cool. We talked about looking forward to the back rooms. We kind of privately discussed not really having much hype on Disclosure Day, but maybe that's just us.
Oh no, that's
Fuck Disclosure Day.
You're in there. I'm sorry for everyone who saw the post. I just ran out of posters, so that's why it's there.
Yeah.
We're all excited for Evil Dead Burn.
Mother Mary.
Mother Mary is going to be very cool.
Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So looking forward to that.
Zach Kreger's Resident Evil is happening this year.
So looking forward to that.
That's later in the quarters.
That's later. That's later in the quarter. You're jumping ahead.
Yeah.
I'm jumping ahead.
In the summertime.
When, and I won't jump ahead anymore then, but when is Caroline coming out? Do we know?
I don't-
Has it come out?
Oh, actually.
I don't think it's been released yet, but I'm like, when this year? Because it's already in the can.
I saw
Like,
that.
That is
shots, and I was
actually
like,
coming
oof.
into.
and they've been talking about it on tour. So her and him. So like, I
That's
don't-
the next quarter.
you have a date?
June 5th.
okay, awesome.
Ooh,
So
okay.
looking forward to that.
With our Scream King and Queen, Samara Weaving, and Kyle Gallner.
Yep.
looking to be a romantic crime thriller extravaganza.
And you know what? We love seeing Kyle Gallner in a crime thriller horror. It's just a good time. Strange Darling.
Yeah, lots of movies coming out. Lots of things to be excited for.
Go
Lots
watch
of
things
reasons
in
to
the
come
mo-
back to this pod.
Yeah, go watch things in the theaters as they come out. Fangoria and Regal have promos going out the wazoo. Fangoria the 13th of every month at Regal Cinema. They're showing horror movies. Sinister already happened. There's plenty more to go. Thrills and Chills at AMC. By the time that this podcast comes out, you'll be able to see Cabin in the Woods back at AMC, which is a boss-ass movie.
That's a fucking banger to see in theaters.
2011, Cabin in the Woods?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to
We're
do
going.
that.
We're going.
That is like maybe a top 20 all time for me.
Yeah, that's an all-timer.
So,
Boy.
enjoy your time. Go see things, either with your friends or on streaming. There's plenty of things to watch that we definitely haven't talked about, and we know we haven't. But just enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the community. Horror is for the others, and we are more than happy to have you part of our other.
Always.
And if you have any thoughts on any of the movies that we talked about or the movies that we didn't talk about, please feel free to mention it in our comments section. You can follow us on YouTube. You can also follow us anywhere you get your podcasts from, TikTok, Instagram. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. You got to do all of it. We hope you guys had as much fun as we did. We'd like to thank our producer and tech wizard, Don, as well as Not Great Entertainment for all of the help setting up the pod. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, stay out of the basement.
Red the blood of the innocent.
Carpet Day!
Just want you to stop saying odd shit.
Party's over. How's that for a slice of fried gold?
I am your mother!
This is a way of life.
Is it dead?
On time, bitch.
I worship Saturn.
Satan is good. Satan is our pal.
They can't